fucking tired.
Yeah, same.
Bro.
Tired.
Same still.
I don't mad me. The way I'm tired, yeah.
What?
Bro,
I'm
do you know how much
tired,
sleep
bro.
man's got over the last few days?
Oh yeah.
Hey. You lot as well, travel, man.
Bro.
It's actually peak.
You know,
Oh.
the day I was traveling, yeah, I went to bed at like 2 a.m. because I hadn't packed in it. So I just done the bulk of the packing up to like 2 a.m. Yeah. Then I woke up at 5:30 and I was like, I'll finish. Woke up at like 5:47. Rushed, like, you know, you wake up quickly, you
That was
snooze a long
snap
time.
out of sleep, innit?
Bro, snapped out of sleep, went downstairs, finished the packing, obviously showered, whatever, and then I went to the airport or whatever, yeah. Since that day, yeah, to be fair, I did have a period of time where I got to like rest in it, to be fair. But then after that, yeah, so it was like pre-party, got home, I can't remember what time we got back.
Yeah, that. We got back, but then didn't go. We stayed upstairs.
just
and
stayed
eat.
upstairs. And then
We're
even,
in the lobby.
oh, these lot eat bare quick, bro.
This guy takes bed off.
You have to enjoy the food though.
Huh?
You have to enjoy the food still. And like,
Fair,
take a while.
McDonald's,
You gotta enjoy the
That's
food, but I
McDonald's.
don't know, bro.
Fair enough.
It's like,
And
fam,
it was like, to be fair, it's
to be
chicken.
fair, they have chicken wings there.
Ah.
Them McDonald's
Yeah,
sauce.
so
Nice
decent
sauce.
stuff.
All
nice.
right.
But
Yeah, man. That one thing called the Japanese spicy
Yeah,
something.
I like that.
Aye, no, what bad, you know?
Yeah,
What bad still?
How long does it take you to pack?
To pack,
Yeah.
do you know what it is? I avoided it this time.
Because I'm thinking this
Bag.
is only what was it 2-3 days?
Yeah, exactly. And then basically, what I did was basically everything I took to SA,
Yeah.
I just put it in the washing machine. As it came out, I just be folding it, putting it back in the I don't need all of that for 2 days.
Yeah,
Do
no,
you get
no,
what I'm
no,
saying?
yeah,
There's
yeah,
some stuff I left, but I didn't leave enough.
Yeah,
Do you get what I'm
yeah,
trying to say?
yeah,
So I just had bare, I'll avoid it still. And do you know what it is? It's just the options thing, innit? I need to have options.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
cause do you know, everyone, you see me, I'm the kind of man, yeah, if I go downstairs, yeah, and I wear white, everyone's wearing black, I'm changing. Garrow.
You know, so funny.
I'm not
You know,
going
I'm
to wear
on.
white.
Really?
I'm-
Why? Sorry.
No. I'm on like whatever I'm wearing. I don't really care what everyone's wearing still.
Yeah, no.
Like I have the general idea in it of okay,
No,
cool.
for
this is
colour
pattern,
scheme,
but I
though.
don't care.
I hate
for
attention
colour
scheme.
Yeah,
Oh,
colour
colour scheme is
scheme.
different.
That's
Colour
scheme
scheme
is
is
different. If
different.
it
No,
comes
no,
to
no,
like,
no,
But
you're talking
you're
about.
not talking about that, are you?
No, I'm not talking about everyone's doing a colour scheme. I'm just saying that raw. But all
Generally
going out,
speaking,
Yeah.
and everyone was wearing white, and I'm wearing black.
Okay.
That one I don't even mind that much because that one I'm a bit more inconspicuous in it because it's black. I can blend it with everyone else.
Yeah,
except
that
for
one
you
I
lot
won't
wearing
mind.
white,
Just
innit?
wearing black, everyone's wearing.
But yeah, other than that, if I'm wearing bright colours, everyone else is wearing dark colours. I'm not doing it still. Can't lie.
What?
Mm.
Well, I don't give a heck, fam.
I don't want to be the centre of attention in that.
Interesting.
Whatever I'm wearing, bro.
Especially like more time when you're going out. More time when I go out nowadays is for something. So if it's not my birthday, I shouldn't be standing out like that. Do you get?
Something like that is different though. You can't be wearing something that's more like showy than the actual birthday person.
Why though?
Do
That's
you know what?
just,
I just
that's
don't.
just
You
man's
know, I've
clothes.
been thinking about that a lot, you know, and I just don't agree. I feel like
Don't you?
as a birthday girl, it's or birthday person, it's your job to make sure you look as best as you can. I can't now be asking myself questions. Oh, maybe I shouldn't do my hair like this. Oh, maybe I shouldn't do my makeup.
You can't still.
But you're not
It
gonna
is-
wear
Your
that.
sauce has
You know,
to.
it-
Your sauce has to be the spiciest, the most
Yeah,
delicious it's been.
Did you
I
not
agree.
see?
I agree.
Yeah,
still.
but you're
It
not
has
gonna
to
wear.
be.
You're not gonna wear something peak to someone.
No,
but
but
you're
did you
talking
see
as
that
a boy,
picture?
though.
Did you see that? Who got married? Mr. Easy and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see that? There was a picture that she had with someone else, and they were like, "No, she weighed it."
I didn't
Because
see so.
like basically, I can't remember exactly who it was or what the picture exactly looked like. Yeah, well, I can remember it loosely in it. But basically, she's come to the wedding and she's
Peak.
they're
But I've
basically-
heard in Nigeria they do that though.
Yeah, but Nigeria's
Yeah,
na-
Nigeria's
cannabis,
different.
whatever.
It's
If you
Their thing is
have a
peak.
wedding
Yeah, I've
in
got a theory.
Nigeria
I've
and
got a
you
theory.
decide
I've got a
not to
theory.
turn up,
Yeah,
like
it's kind of peak.
that's your
Guys,
problem.
I've got a theory.
But then you
yeah?
can turn up here, and I don't want to be rude here, but you can turn up, but someone could just look better than you.
Yeah,
And they
yeah.
need
But
to
That's,
Yeah,
that's
but
okay
all the
because
way.
you did your best, and I think I was
Yeah.
thinking it's actually British culture. British culture teaches us to kind of like dim ourselves and make ourselves bare small. But in America, they're not having this kind of
America's,
complex.
yeah.
In Nigeria, the reason why
Yeah.
everyone, you have to trust that you have the source.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have to
you
bring
gotta
your
do.
best. There's no auntie that's like, oh, I can't do a gele that's this high because there's one she might feel.
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
in
yeah,
fact, I
true.
can't actually see the speaker because your gele is so
Your
high,
gele is so
and
big,
you're not the
yeah,
mother,
yeah,
or you're not the mother of any bride or
Yeah,
groom.
yeah, true,
And I think it's just, I do think that it's in the psyche, and we internalize it like, oh,
No, I agree.
I need to make
agree.
sure that everyone feel comfortable with my light. No,
No, it's, as a woman
we-
though, your one is as a man. There's not much you can do
sure.
in terms of
And if
like
you're
to
doing
bear
something, it's actually
upstage,
peak.
like
Mm.
to bear upstage someone.
It's the same thing as wearing white to someone's wedding, though.
Well,
I
wearing
was
a white
thinking about
dress.
this as well.
Yeah.
But you're
I also
actually
think
you're
if
wearing
you
a
wear-
wedding dress though.
By the way, I
but
also
still,
think if
though.
you wear a white tux to another man's wedding,
White tux is
you're
crazy.
a
Yeah,
sick
white-
but
man.
that's
white
weird.
tux is crazy.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's weird still.
Yeah, I mean, the white dress is.
But
weird.
if a white-
No,
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 white
no,
dress-
no, but I don't think white tux now is weird though, because that's not the traditional like.
No,
wouldn't wear a white tux
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah, we're talking about now anyway.
I don't
Like
know.
the groom
you
would,
know.
I mean, as in the groom is not gonna wear a white tux, like top and bottom. So if you're wearing a white tux,
I'm
it's not
saying
you're
that-
wearing the thing.
Yeah, the white tux is just the jacket.
It's just
though,
the
isn't it?
jacket,
Yeah, I
yeah.
just
just
think
the
it's
jacket.
blaze. So a guest wearing a white blazer.
I think for our generation, yeah. I don't think
I think it's
before
fine.
because traditionally
Yeah,
they
would
just
wear
wear black.
Yeah, they would wear
They
black.
just the groom just wearing black. So
Everyone-
if you wore a white jacket, it's like,
Everyone
hear
should
what
wear
you're talking
what
about now, innit?
everyone should wear what they want to wear. That's what I believe.
No, don't
And
wear white to a wedding.
I
don't think
was
you should wear
thinking,
white now.
you know, if you see how many packages I have in my house for this,
Oh,
and that
swear
kind of-
to-
oh my goodness,
Swear
package
to-
after package
Swear.
after package, trying to find what
Which
I
one?
want to wear. And I've seen some really nice ivory dresses, and it's like, oh, you can't
Oh,
wear
ivory.
You can't wear white to a wedding.
But
That's
I'm
a-
always
that's
like,
a
you're
good
never
off-white.
gonna.
But how
The
can I
off-white
be?
thing is a boy thing.
But
so
how
can't
can
lie.
how can I look better than your dress
Yeah, you
has a
can't
train?
argue.
can't,
Right.
you can't.
And
No,
so
but you know what
I'm
it is,
wearing-
though?
I'm
You don't want
wearing-
any
Oh.
close association.
Yeah, do you know what it is as well? Yeah?
Why?
It just looks like you want to
They're
give the
supposed to
person
stand
just
out.
a spotlight on their
It's
day.
their day.
But,
Just-
no,
but
but
the-
it's actually their day.
So
So
there's no
how
way you
can
can
I,
outstay.
Just
unless
the
I'm
colour.
wearing a wedding dress, that's the only way that I will
No,
actually out-punch you or I'm in the ring.
Do you know what it is? It's like
It's insecurity.
no,
That's
no,
what
it's
it
not.
is.
It's like you know, like a team game. You know, like there's two teams. One's wearing blue, one's wearing red.
Yeah.
Listen, if you're not for the other team, just don't wear blue. I don't want to have any
Yeah.
association with the other team.
Yeah.
As
Separate
on the
it, let it
on
be
the,
separate.
on the
This
wedding
is not a
day,
good
be
analogy.
It is.
It's
Be
not.
separate. If we're wearing white, when I look around here, if I see white from the corner of my eye, it's always the bride. Always. If I turn my corner of my eye and there's a white dress, it's like, why are you close to your
No, but yeah-
associated
Okay, so
whatsoever?
if you're wearing a white
100%.
dress and it's got sequins and it's got a train and all of those, if you've got
No.
a
Forget
if
the
you're
train.
wearing a wedding dress to another wedding, that for me, okay, cool. This is too much. But if it's a nice, maybe halter neck, very slinky, shapely, why is it off limits? I think, right, if we just dig a bit deeper here, we can this is how women this is how women frame themselves as this kind of like off limits. Like, I am this and no one can do this. Are you a child?
But that's why
on
I
the
think-
on the day though.
What? And even wedding day is false anyway. This is a.
All right, there we go.
this is
There we go.
Oh,
There we
yeah,
go.
yeah,
Ladies and gentlemen,
We got him.
We got it. We got it.
Hey,
Never
to be
mind.
fair,
Never
now
mind.
there are like some brides that wear very simple wedding dresses now. though. The dresses
Yeah.
that kind of look like
Sure.
kind of normal
Sure.
sort of
Slinky,
dresses in it.
sure.
So in that sort of case, if it's like someone else is wearing that actual, your dress
Yeah.
could actually be nicer.
And
But
who-
you can't
and-
upstage her
and-
because
and
she's the
who-
bride,
and
though,
whose-
innit?
And whose fault is that? If you're wearing a dress that isn't the nicest dress that you could possibly have worn on your wedding day, that's your bad.
No, but
No, but that's a
it's
style
not,
thing, though.
it's not
That's a
about the
style thing,
nicest
though.
dress. This is the dress I wanted to wear. And
Yeah,
if you
exactly.
are invited,
And you didn't get any feedback from anybody saying,
no.
maybe.
If you're invited to my day, it's just my rules for this day.
Yeah.
Don't wear what I'm wearing.
And
Why?
you know, is it so many
Don't
other
wear
colours.
white.
You don't wear what
Are
I'm
you
wearing.
are you God?
You don't wear.
I just think that we
Hey,
have these
I was gonna
really,
say, on that
really,
day-
and I think, and that's what I'm speaking to. This
Sorry,
kind of
what?
in women,
Oh,
women,
guys.
and that's what I'm saying.
That's
And
not
that's,
really
but that's what I'm speaking to. You're saying that, but actually there are women who become gods on that day. It's
Yeah,
not. It's
bridezillas
not.
and
It's
that.
not yeah, that's what we call it bridezilla, but it's because you can't do this. No one can do this. Oh no, I don't want this. Oh, for one day that's 24 hours, like yesterday and tomorrow.
Because you've been dreaming about it for you like 5.
And
Exactly.
it's weird, and I'm digging deeper.
So if someone,
We're getting into the stuff.
So let's do this. So if someone wore white to your own wedding,
When my mum was looking at dresses, she said,
Yeah, but-
she said, can I have a yes, mum. In fact, make it make it as long as you want. It's your day. How can you upstage
Yeah,
it?
but you're different though.
nah, you're different,
Brother's
yeah,
different, though.
and your mum's a bit different as well. Do you
Aight,
get what I'm saying?
we
Like,
know what mum's on.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
for me, it was very much like I never had any reservations about anybody wearing whatever you wear what you want to wear because I trust that what I'm gonna wear is gonna be the best.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
trust
Okay,
in
can
myself.
I
I
ask
bet on
can I ask
myself.
a question, yeah?
Yeah.
Alright. Your husband's birthday,
Yes.
yeah?
Yes.
Everyone's giving him gifts.
Uh-huh.
Do you mind if someone comes, yeah, knowingly upstages your gift for him? Like, knowingly. They get him
Who's
a gift.
fault-
But
Do you know what it is?
wait. Hold on. But a gift, yeah, that is definitely is upstaging your gift.
And it's a woman that's
You know
giving
what's
it.
And it's a
speaking-
woman.
First of all, the woman thing is different.
And she's
We'll come to that because that is right. Where is this woman from? Does she say our surname?
She's a
Because I
friend.
don't know who she's from.
She's a
Where
friend.
is
She's
she?
a friend.
Friend from where?
You're just a
That's
friend.
wild.
No,
That is wild.
Why is it wild?
No, I'm gonna come to what you said because actually, let's unpack this one. My thing is with this, I do think that like a lot of this is rooted in insecurity. What do you mean you can upstage me? How? What is it?
You're right.
Why are we even in competition with each other? It's my husband, and you've got him the best gift. Why am I not happy?
Exactly.
I'm
Yeah.
a benefactor of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And
That's
so
what
for
I
me,
think.
I think, and that's what I'm saying. If we reframe this as, oh, you're so insecure, you don't actually believe that you can wear the best possible dress, so you have to put all of these framings around all of these rules and constraints. Oh, nobody can have their hair in a ponytail. Huh?
Those ones
I
are
don't know about that.
No. And I'm talking, but it starts with the
Yeah,
birthday
yeah.
dinner, right? And then it goes all the way up to the wedding. And I'm just saying, for me, the reason why that doesn't hold for me is because it's like, yeah, you get him a nice car, okay, fine. It's me that's gonna be driving. I'm very happy. I can't be upstaged. I actually can't.
I'm his wife.
Because I'm one of one. There's only one of me. I'm only in competition with
It
myself.
sounds good in theory. I never hear it.
You just don't believe
No,
me.
I don't hear it. You're right. Part of me doesn't believe
And
it.
she ain't
But
the
for example,
majority,
yeah.
though. She's literally the minority.
But do you know what it is as well?
I'm not.
You're not the majority at all.
I think it's fine. I think it's fine to make someone feel special on their birthday, to be like, cool, do you know what? Or on whatever occasion it is for them, they're doing it all black. They're the only ones that are gonna wear white. Why the flip would you wear white? That is just you're just being self-centered.
But
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
I do understand. I do like. Don't get me wrong. I understand it. I understand. I think I do feel once again that's slightly different. Like if I'm having a birthday event and it's an all black event, and then you decide to wear pink, you're actually going against. This is more of an unspoken rule, right? Weddings are unspoken. We just kind of know that's not what you do. I can wear an ivory dress to this wedding that's coming up, but if I did, I'd look like I was trying to upstage the bride. And I'm just saying, I'm picking the idea that we can upstage the bride, and how is that possible? I don't actually think it's possible if the bride does what she needs to do. I always trust myself to do what I've got to do. I never think to myself, oh, what if it's my birthday and someone looks better than me? I never think that. How? My hair will be the best. My outfit would be the best, but it's the best that I can do. The best that you can do might look better than me, but for me, I'm not in competition with you. You're in your lane, I'm in my lane. But I don't make people shrink themselves so I can feel great.
No. Do you know what it is as well? I like the fact that if I'm having an event, everyone looks their best. That just means I need to look even better. But to be fair, it doesn't really mean that. But for me, you lot know me already. Like I feel like a lot of the time, if we're going out and stuff like that, I'm gonna wear what I have, and a lot of the time I've got nice things in it, so I'm gonna wear nice things. It's not in any way, shape, or form to be like raw. That man is.
It's better than
It's
never really a fault.
I think men are different though.
Yeah,
in that regard. When it comes to dressing, I don't think we're looking at we're gonna like. You're gonna out. Like, I don't think that's the thing.
No, I disagree.
We have. I would hate to go somewhere. Yeah, that I think we're dressing like casual. So for example, like the last couple weeks ago, or whatever, we had like another episode sort of thing in it. I was wearing basically what he was wearing today. These all wearing like shirt.
And what you were wearing was calm that day, man. Where was I wearing that day?
This guy was wearing.
He was wearing a white shirt
and the hat.
No, but he was wearing a white shirt, bro. Like,
remember what I said?
You know,
we went to Sister D's.
I just went.
No, but
that was one of
it's
those
like,
days.
it's one of those things, yeah. Where it's like, let's say like we're all going somewhere, and then someone dresses up, comes like in a chinchilla, and like we're going Met Gala or something.
Calm,
it's kind of like.
No, but that's different though, because what I'm saying, you're not worried about. When you're going out, you're not worried about upstaging.
That's the opposite. That's the opposite. I just want to be on par with
So the reason I disagree with what you've said is because I feel like men are in silent competition all of the time, and so even though it may not look in terms of how you dress, I think it seeps into how you dress, what you wear, what glasses you wear. Like I think the pressures, what car you have, what your wife looks like, or your partner. I think there are silent competitions happening.
I don't think you're wrong still, but I just don't know how much that dominates and how consistently it does.
Yeah.
So I know. For example, when we were growing up, let's say we're getting into like late school years, college years, uni years. Yeah, you care so much about how you look and how it measures up against what is going right now. Do you get what I mean? Because everything is about what's current, all that kind of stuff. I feel like it's the thing where you get to an older age, and then it's almost like you start getting into your own lane, into your own bag, and you clock that actually, if I bought this and I wore this black tee and it says Givenchy on it, like it doesn't actually suit me better than the next t-shirt that's heavyweight and drops clean. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So actually, I've been shortchanging myself, trying to keep up with what these lot are buying because it's designer and all that kind of stuff. So I feel like when you get older, you move into your own lane.
I think I agree with you though. I think men can, but I don't think men compete with individuals. I think men compete to the standard of what a man is. Do you know what I mean? I think there's a standard that men compete to growing up. I don't think it's that, I'm trying to beat him or him or him or him or get a bigger car than him. It's just like, what kind of car should a man at this age be driving? Do you get me? Or what kind of asset should a man at this age have? So that's what I think the competition is, as opposed to I'm just competing against these people in the room.
I think it's both.
I think I think it's twofold. I think the men that do that usually feel like they've conquered the circle. Does that make sense?
Robert, no, I don't think that.
Well, I'm happy to stand alone here. I think.
I said conquer the circle. That's
I think the ones that have that, and don't get me wrong, I do feel like I was listening to a podcast about like how like be a man, and it's like how can I be something I already am? Do you know what I mean? And I think what you're speaking to is that kind of there's a standard that men, an unspoken standard that isn't as aggressively spoken about as the standard for women. I know that I'm not thin enough, I'm not white enough, my hair's not straight. I know these things. Whereas men, it's quite silent. You kind of get you get to a certain age, you're like, I don't have the money to buy this house that my friends have been able to buy.
I think it's silent, no. I think it's out.
Remember, I'm on the outside. I don't know. So for me, I don't hear. For us, it's all we talk about is the standard of beauty, but we don't talk about the standard of masculinity as much as a society. But I would say that the men that I think all men have that kind of internalized like they kind of internalize the standard and they're thinking about it. But I think the men that really think about what should a man be doing, I feel like they've kind of transcended. They've ascended. So, and I would say that, and also, twofold. Also more easy with themselves. So I don't think you guys would be thinking about what someone else is doing because you're confident in yourselves, but also you feel like there's no one here doing what I'm doing. There's that belief, the way that I can do it. There's a belief in the source, and then
I think what the chef,
the chef, what is it?
The chef, that's it.
Yeah. What we said about the presence.
When they say the sauce don't make the chef makes the sauce. I heard that the other day. I heard that one. It just rewired my brain. Yeah.
I
Control you.
No, you're right.
You right?
Yeah, I hear it still. No, I can agree with that still.
Oh, I'll cut that bit out. Where?
My peace sign.
No.
The fact that say with you right.
Oh, what was wrong with that? Okay.
Tearing down the woman I didn't need and bring
that woman I didn't need.
That is funny. But yeah, man. But yeah, do you know what it is? I think it's good to look good, man. I just think.
Word.
Yeah, it's good.
To be fair, one thing I do agree with you on there is the whole, British like modesty and all that kind of stuff, and what that makes us look like. And do you know what it is? Sometimes I see it in myself, and I see the over polite thing in myself, and I'm just like, you know what, you lot be getting onto Casa about sometimes, and it gets me gone sometimes. Like for example, the other day I was on the plane or something, something dropped from like the thing, but someone was trying to get something out in it, and I hit my shoulder and went down or whatever. I had my headphones in at the time, but I didn't know if the person said sorry or not, innit? And in my head, I was getting a bit gone because I was like, if it was me, I would make sure I've said sorry. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So I was just thinking, but is that me just doing too much? Like, should man just say sorry and then move on or whatever? And yeah, man, it just got me thinking, bro. Like, I just think, like, fam, sometimes I feel like this whole, like, you know, it is coming from SA as well, fam. Like, you'll be out, and someone's literally, like, rubbing up on you in your space. Like, or you've barged past someone or whatever it is, you turn around to be like, oh, my bad. They're not even looking at you. They don't care. And it just made me think, like, like, is this really man? Is this where I'm from?
And this what it is. It's African. It's when you're in Africa, you exist as an African. Do you understand what I'm saying? And like, when you go to Nigeria, there's I don't know if you guys have felt that thing where on the plane you're about, we were shaken up. You understand? But when you get the soil, you're like, okay, cool.
I'm home.
What's going on here?
Yeah, 100%.
By day 3, you're acclimatized.
100%.
What? You know how to talk to people, how to get things done.
Hey!
That's how we're talking.
Someone will say that fam, they hate that when they go die.
I don't like that.
They start coming more mean than that.
I don't like that.
And obviously we need to speak to that. But what I'm speaking to is a confidence and the expectation that when I want to get things done, things can get done. I'm not apologizing for being myself and showing up in the space.
It's so funny. Someone said, Nigel's mad when, if you lot was in a queue, you haven't pushed to get to the front, they'll describe you as a person that's not sharp. That guy's not a sharp guy.
Exactly.
You know how funny that is?
And I think it's just kind of killing our entrepreneurial spirit. It's doing so many things to us by internalizing the kind of like British psyche of like just making yourself really small and caring what other people are wearing or how am I coming across? Have I said sorry enough today? I just think that if we shed ourselves as those, especially like black women, but also black men, because I think the system, the education system does so much to take that from you, and I don't think you guys ever get it back. And so, what did one of my friends say that like the UK boys, you guys are kind of like fragile, like the way that you guys are, like you don't like take up space, you lot shoulders are bare like tight and stuff like that. You don't stand the African man is standing, Nigerian man is standing next to you, and he's not even thinking about racism. He don't even. You say racism to them, they're like, what's that? Like what's that? Is that gonna stop me from making money? Like they're not even processing the world in that way. And don't get me wrong, that has its other problems. But I'm saying that actually, when you're at home, you're like, oh, I am a giant. I'm somebody to be respected. I'm somebody to be looked at. Whereas here, you're just like, you're even trying to make yourself small so people don't think you're going to steal from them. That's
do you think it's more so black men and black women? Like, do you think that's the group? So like, when it comes to other races, like they stand in that kind of boldness.
What, like in my? I don't.
As
clarify
in,
the question.
as in, like, are you saying that? Does it disproportionately affect black people essentially?
Yeah.
Oh yes, of course. I would say so.
In comparison to
yeah, the reason I don't
minorities.
have any data to back that up, so
Yeah,
please
but-
feel free to dismiss what I'm saying. But I think because of what the system does to black people, we are therefore affected more.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
But
So
then how does it look like if we started to like be broad shoulders out there, more
Sure.
how does
Do you know
that
what it
actually
is?
translate?
Sure.
Because
Do you know what I think would happen?
bare times, yeah, because of how conservative the UK is,
Yeah.
it's kind of how you elevate sometimes.
Because I don't think it's just us this sort of conservative. If you get what I'm trying to say, so I think, for example, like our white counterparts would be conservative as well in terms of the way they do things. I don't think, don't get twisted, some of their office band and all that kind of stuff, they feel at home, so they can be themselves in whichever way, and it won't come across as weird. You might start shouting about something that you've done on holiday or whatever, and they're like, oh, like, do you get what I'm trying to say? But other than that, yeah, I actually think if we were to start kind of going against the whole British kind of modesty and all that, to be honest, yeah, I feel like this is kind of timely. When you think about like all of that, you know, like the Toby Robertson marches and all that kind of stuff, like one of the, again, I don't know that much about it, but what I do know about is the small niche that I talk about in it, in terms of like, they're talking about people embracing like British culture and da-da-da and boom, boom, boom. And he even made a video shouting out to like Sikhs and stuff like that, which you would think is off-brand because you'd think that their thing's just racist and whatever. And I'm not saying it's not, and I'm not saying it is. I lean more towards the side that it is or whatever, yeah. But I think in terms of like, sorry.
You just had that.
But do you know what it is? I think it's one of those things that if we started to just do the whole loud and proud and boom, da-da-da and da-da-da, and I'm not saying we shouldn't, I just think that's gonna give them more fuel to, you know how they done all of this, yeah? It was like using media and all that kind of stuff, like amplifying certain things. If they see everyone out in carnival and all that kind of stuff, and they're doing a mad thing and da-da-da, and they put that everywhere, all over the news, again, it just makes us look a certain way. Again, it just creates that cycle again of, all right, cool, you're not gonna get stereotyped like this. They're gonna do this. They're gonna do that, and it just that cycle continues itself. Basically,
what I'm speaking to is this idea, this theory called of like double consciousness, and it's the idea that you exist in yourself, but you also exist in the mind of white people, and you're constantly thinking about how you're being perceived by them, and that's what you're speaking to. And I'm saying that we get rid of that. I'm not saying that you have to be out and loud and proud and shouting at people.
Oh, okay, fair.
That too, I'll come to that. But I'm saying that we rid ourselves of the belief that we have to respond or consider how other people are perceiving us, and that dictating what we do, because it's crippling us. It's crippling our spirit, our hunger for things, even our ability to wear certain things at certain places, because we so don't want to be perceived as doing the wrong thing or thinking that we're too much. We can't stop them from thinking those things. You can do you can wear the suit, you can do all of those things, and they're still gonna. They'll still think that. You asked the question. Oh, okay, I remember what I was gonna say. In terms of when do we start? You don't start at 25. You start with your children. You lot are, unfortunately. So sorry.
Wow.
There's nothing that there's nothing really we can do. There's nothing really we can do about it, guys.
Trust me.
Do you know you've already internalized all of these. Even what Henderson has said here is evidence of living in that double consciousness of what
He said, I'm
done.
I'm in a major.
Big man thing. Like, big man, I'm not
God
even
forbid,
joking.
I can never be finished. You see me though. I show up how I want to show up.
Yeah, see, this even
Well,
this.
I'm
You already
comfortable.
got something. You already told on yourself. We already know. So with that in mind, what we give to our children is, when you see your son or your daughter saying certain things, you correct it. No,
that's not true. Yeah.
That's not true. When you see the teacher, before our parents would listen to the teacher and then tell us off. No, let's start there. In fact, you're going to see me talk to this person like this. So you know I'm not afraid of anybody, irrespective of what they look like. You're going to see me challenge authority. And that's what we're going to do. And so then you learn that actually I deserve to take up space. By 25... If it's time. And how we're going to raise our children, you're not going to be looking for jobs. How can you create jobs? This is what we're doing now. We're going to create spaces like this. Oh, okay, yeah. No, it's not a CV. You want to call your uncle and say, listen, what's going on there? Yeah, right, cool. This is he's coming. He's coming today. He'll work with you for 6 months and then we'll do it. This is what I'm dreaming of.
100%. But and again, I think it just goes to show, obviously, different times, innit? Obviously, a lot of our parents came in, a lot of the people that we know, aunties and uncles, bro, a lot of their jobs, like, were cleaning jobs and all that kind of stuff. Taking up space, how? Do you get what I'm trying to say? Do you know what I mean? Like, cool, they can bring, the nepotism was alive, they will bring you in and you can help them clean and that, like, 100%. But other than that, like, they weren't, like, if they shout loud, they're getting dismissed.
You know what it is? I do hate it, but my missus has this view as well, yeah. Like, she's more hardlined in terms of, listen, if you want to succeed, you succeed. in life. Yeah.
100%.
So I remember we were having discussion
Forget
of
the
like
excuses.
an older gen, like it was a big discussion, and their vibe was kind of like, you guys have a lot. Younger gen, they're friends at our age. You guys have a lot. You guys can do so much, but bare of you guys are wasting opportunities.
Yeah.
We were like, well, she was like, agreed, but so did you. Like, you guys have certain opportunities that you didn't get. There are people you lot's age who they're the 805 owners, like, or they open their restaurant, they open their cash and carries. What was this popping hair shop in Peckham back in the days that like everyone? There are also people in each gen that not like this is more hardline, to be fair, and I understand they had their difficulties, but in general, everyone kind of has that opportunity to.
I think the
disparity.
disparity.
It's all relative.
I think there's a disparity though, because I think before, I think being a business owner was definitely going to be few and far between anyway, full stop. So I think less people had that opportunity back in the day. I think now, everyone's got that opportunity. Anyone can start a business. £20, company's house. I was going company's house. You get to say, start up your business. It could be a virtual business initially. You could, bro. People have restaurants takeaways on Uber Eats that they're operating outside their house. Now I'm not gonna say who, because I don't think they're allowed to do that. But people do it. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
People still done it in that generation.
But what I'm trying to say is that the barriers to entry now is it's like you look, come on, it's like talking about going to watch a football game back then. How they're gonna frisk you then versus now. Hillingdon, like, I'm not even gonna talk about all these crises and all that kind of stuff. But obviously Hillsborough, sorry, I'm not even. I'm saying Hillingdon. But even like stuff like those crises that happen, do you think that can happen in this day and age? Things have changed so much.
We're saying that
I'm saying
higher barriers to entry back then.
Higher barriers,
but then people still done it though. That's the point.
And that's the point, isn't it? I think that we have to create and hold space for the social inequalities, which mean that some people just simply couldn't. But we also have to hold the people accountable that were told you can and didn't.
Yeah, of course.
So you were told by people, by your council, buy it. You have the opportunity, and then you didn't.
That one.
You had dreams of going back home, and now you're still here.
But then again,
your counterparts made those decisions, and you have to sit in the discomfort of, I didn't make the right choices. Because two things can be true. I am the lower class here. I don't have as many opportunities, but I missed the opportunities that came to me.
And don't get it twisted, listen, while I agree with you lot, all I'm saying, I think what I do the most, is to shine a light on the fact that actually there's reasons why they didn't make the right decisions.
Yeah, of course.
So, for example, financial literacy is a bigger thing since our generations have come about and all that kind of stuff, because they've clocked that there was a massive, disparity in terms of how much they knew back then. Bro, they were like, why?
I think it's excuses.
Do you know what it is as well, though? Think about it. Even if you come to the UK and all that kind of stuff, a lot of them have come to the UK under the guise of, cool, we're looking for a better life or whatever, but we're going to make money and then go back home and live like kings.
Yeah.
So, why am I buying a house here? Do you know what I mean? It's like a lot of people now are jackpot from London, and they're going to Dubai, they're going different places and all that kind of stuff. Bro, out of bare people that are there, no one's buying yards. Everyone's renting, bro. Like, no one's people will start thinking that way, and obviously we'll start doing stuff and all that kind of stuff. I'm not gonna say it because everyone's like financially more wiser now, innit? But that's how it started, innit? So
what I will agree with what you were saying is in terms of like the information, innit, that we have now.
Do you know what I mean?
So I remember Kilani's mum just basically saying that she didn't actually know that you could buy a yard here. And like the people that were doing it, they were kind of like withholding that.
Yeah, exactly. They'll gatekeep.
So the access to the information wasn't there. But then at the same time, I think the AF mentality wasn't also to ask questions. If you don't know, don't say, basically, because you don't want to come across as though you don't know, basically.
So all I'm saying, by the way, is just that. So even these things existed, and they were actual prominent things,
they did.
And I'm not saying, like that's the reason why. No, I am saying that's the reason why for some people anyway, not for everyone, innit? And don't get it twisted. I'm not giving excuses. I'm just saying, listen, there's you can see that there's obvious reasons why these people didn't do these things, innit? But
we've held space for that. I said there's social inequality, social injustice. That's just part and parcel. But what we cannot say is there were points, and I remember even Dad would preach in church and say, listen, go and get life insurance. These men are not getting it. Go and send your kid to uni. Not really sure. These are and
they can't afford it sometimes, bro.
And I think this is where the excuses, because
it's
let
like
me land.
Go on.
You can't afford it. But you're going to Nigeria regularly, some of you. You're trying to get it and buying lace of party regularly. You have bad priorities.
You can always do that,
your priorities are out of
you
order.
can do it.
No.
Some of them could have done it, but they chose not to do it. And I'm saying we have to hold those ones, those people that couldn't afford it, fair enough.
Exactly.
I'm speaking, and we've already accounted for that. I said social injustice. I'm speaking specifically to the people. The information came to you and you did nothing. You could see you were not going home and you didn't think about what you could do. And there were people in your community, because they always are. There's one person always that's like, oh yeah, I'm thinking of doing it. It will come to you. Think about how much information just comes.
People, though?
I just said, my dad from the pulpit.
No. I'm saying, who are these people that had the opportunity, had the money, had everything, and they just didn't make any good decisions?
You can't start calling people's names.
But you know what I'm saying, though? You know how you mentioned. You know how you mentioned
the minority. They're the minority. They're the minority. They're the minority.
You mentioned Clanny's mum. You mentioned Clanny's mum, yeah. So think about Clanny's mum. So she's someone who she didn't know that she could buy a house. And then when she knew, and then what did she do? When she clocked, bro, she actually went brazy.
I'm saying exactly.
She actually went brazy. But what I'm saying is that
more people are in that bucket than any other bucket. Yes, they are.
They are not in that bucket, bro.
Oh, listen, I can speak. Listen, let me tell you something.
I said we should wrap this.
No, do you know what it is?
Because actually, you're wrong and strong at this point.
No, I'm not wrong and strong. Do you know what it is? Let me tell you something, yeah. I know a lot about what people knew, what people were talking about, and what people did. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I know about people who had investment opportunities, but the way it was talked about and all that kind of stuff. And again, even if I'm being real, religion even came into it in terms of why people didn't make certain decisions and all that kind of stuff. And don't get it twisted, yeah. By the way, I'm someone that, listen, wherever I end up in life, there shouldn't be any excuses. Yeah, these were the cards I was dealt. This is what I needed to do. And if I needed to succeed, I needed to succeed. That's my vision and my view entirely. I'm just saying, sometimes I think it's unfair especially when you do it, when you go back looking at our parents' generation and that, they could have done this, they could have done that.
You have an
this is
agenda
that,
here.
Do you know why? Because
I knew it was something.
In this particular thing, yeah.
Why is it stayed on this point for 10 minutes?
Do you know what it is? No, but in this particular thing,
all cards on the table. Go on. What's your problem with my content?
No, not your content. It's not your content. In this particular instance, all I'm saying is that I think the majority of people actually couldn't afford it. So even when you talk about people going to Nigeria and all that kind of stuff, I think what you need to understand from their perspective is that they've prioritized going back home, catering towards their family, the village, and all that kind of stuff. That in our hierarchy, in our culture, is more important than life insurance, because why? They don't fully understand life insurance. They think they don't. Bare people from our culture don't even like insurance. Do you get what I'm trying to say? They think it's a waste of money, it's a scam. Like, oh, you just paid the amount that you've paid for the thing already. I'm even moving towards that myself. I've cancelled bare insurance. Do you get what I'm trying to say? These are the things that were actually it was a priority thing. It was like, if you talk about a hierarchy of priorities and that, actually going back home, catering for the people that you've left and all that kind of stuff was more important for them than something they didn't fully understand. If you don't fully understand life insurance,
I think it's so ironic that like that generation was so hard on their children when they were raising them and gave them no grace, and you want to offer them so much.
100%.
All I'm saying, and I don't agree with it, I think that like it's really important, and I'm repeating myself now, it's so important that we hold space. Yes, you may not have known, but when the knowledge came to you, what did you do with it?
Yeah.
Did you squander it? Did you internalize it?
So my thing is just to what end?
And I think my problem is that we just keep saying, oh, you know, we just keep excuse. Oh, my parents beat me. They didn't know any better. Oh, they abused me. They didn't know any better. Okay, but there was a point at which they did, and what did they do? Did they go? Exactly. Didn't go brazy. Like we want this. I don't mind if you didn't know or you didn't have the means, but when you did get the means, when you did know, what did you do?
They stopped beating me and they started talking to man.
But they stopped beating you because they couldn't.
And they started taking away my stuff because they
it's safeguarding. It was just safeguarding. They changed the law in the country, and that's why they stopped beating. They just got afraid of prison. They got afraid of prison. And even then, they would still beat you and then say that you just knew you can't take that thing to school. Don't take that news to school. You know, kids now will come and tell you, "My dad beat me today." Like, they'll come and disclose to you, and a whole
you have to report it.
It's events. And sometimes look at them like, "Wow, you're really brave."
You're
really brave. Because when I never went to school. You know, I never went to school and said I was beaten. Not once. Not
to be fair though, we different generations.
Amongst ourselves.
Amongst ourselves, we just laugh about it.
Of course, trauma. It's trauma. But you won't frame it as trauma. You life lessons.
No,
character building.
Character building.
See? This is why we're two.
No, everything the testing of your faith builds good character. You got to say, but listen, hear what I'm saying though, yeah. Like all I'm saying, yeah. The reason why I'm giving them grace here is because listen, actually, at the time. And I'm going to say this in black and white, yeah, their struggles were harder than our struggles. We've got different struggles and it's hard for us. Fair enough. People are going to say I'm being bare insensitive by saying this and all that kind of stuff. But listen, I can't lie to you. Moving to another country, yeah, where, listen, actually, racism was rife when they were moving over here. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, there was a lot of barriers to entry to everything when they were moving here and all that kind of stuff, yeah. They did not have money. They were literally at the bottom of the food chain. We are already not at the bottom of the food chain. Majority of us now, yeah. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Different struggle already. There's more stuff that we've got access to. Different struggle already. Do you get what I'm trying to say? With them, like I'm saying, even like from the pulpit, you're saying get life insurance and that kind of stuff, bro. Some of these men are like they're 40s. You know, once you clock past that 25, life insurance is getting way up. It's getting way up. The price of life insurance, and you've got kids, bro. Your insurance is going way up, and then all of the other health issues and this is that and other and all that kind of stuff, bro. It costs money, so some people don't have it. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So my thing is that if I get onto you now, bear about what you've done in the past. Like I'm not holding you to your past. I'm not condemning you to whatever decisions you've made in the past. Yes, I can say it so moving forward we can learn from it. You could do things differently in the future. But other than that, to what end? Like why am I gonna hold on to the fact that you made a wrong decision 20 years ago or something like that? Do you get what I'm trying to say? I don't want to be in that space where I'm like, life could have been like this, life could have been like that. Yeah, I might do that once in a while, but other than that, bro, got to move on. Life is like this. What do I need to get to how I need it to be? And then that's where I go. Do you get?
Kind of just acknowledging though, because if the conversation does come up, it's like regardless of whether, like this is what happened.
So you would say to your parents, you lot could have done this, you know.
I would say that. In a different position. For example,
bro, if I say that to man, but safeguard it. Hey, all of you lot come to my house, I'll beat all of you lot together, bro.
And that's what I hear from you. It's that kind of like you don't want that, so that's what you won't offer. But I don't mind that.
What do you mean? As in,
you don't want that level of accountability from your children.
No, I don't mind accountability. Listen,
you don't want that from your. You just said you don't want that.
No. That's not what I'm saying.
You've just said if my child did this and said to me, if you're asking him the question, you're asking him the question.
But let me add you context. Yeah, let me add you context. Knowing the struggles.
You've spoken. You actually spoke. I didn't get to finish my sentence. I don't think this is
No, Dory, you're going now. I'm just saying, just to give you context. Just to give you context. Just to give you context.
By the way, guys, we've known each other since we were like 5.
Yeah, this is normal.
This is normal.
Listen. Just to finish that. Just add context here. I'm saying that all in light of the struggles that our parents went through, holding down multiple jobs, especially me coming from a single parent household. My struggles are really mad different to a lot of other people's. Knowing all of the different jobs that you're holding down just to keep the light on, even at times we even had to buy like gas heaters and that because we can't use the central heating and all that kind of stuff, bro. Like I'm talking about that level of struggle. Knowing exactly what you can afford and what you can't afford, bro. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Understanding from that perspective, I'm not gonna go back and turn to my mum, being like, "Right, you was working 3 jobs, but you didn't do enough." Are you like, am I sick?
And that don't make no sense. And that's for you. But what I'm saying is that if there are points in my life where, and it's up to you, you have to decide what kind of parent you have. Some parents can't hear. Like I don't go, and you have to be careful with some parents as well. Like the context you have is very unique in ways.
But I think it's a lot of people's experience.
Potentially, I don't know if this is in the room that this is the shared experience. You know, sometimes it's unique. Even if it's unique to you, it is unique. Like the way that it happened, your story is unique. You're one of one. You know, and so it's like for you can't say to your parent, you wouldn't say that to her because you saw her struggle and this is how you want to respond to it. But your sister might not have the same response. She might say, as a woman growing up, or as a girl growing up, I would have really liked to have had X from you in those moments here. I didn't need it across the board, but here I needed that. And if she should want to do that, I don't think she should be condemned. And it's for your mother then to say, this is what I was doing at the time, and this is why I didn't do it. But what can I offer? What this is what I can offer now. Not even that. I acknowledge that what I did wasn't what I would do now, or I get why there's pain there. And I think I'm not going to absolve older people from the pain that they inflicted because of the pain they were going through. No, we can hold space for both. Yes, you struggled, but also you caused me to struggle. And now I've got my own issues. So I want to talk to you about my issues. And you can say, do you know what, Joy? This is my dad would say, Joy, this thing was really tough for us. It was hard. And I say, yeah, I hear that. You worked a lot. I say to my dad, you worked. He's like, he said, if we didn't have enough, you would have complained. I worked too much. You can't win. You would have. He said, your dad don't work. You don't do enough. He said, I can't. But we used to sit down and be like, I didn't really like that this didn't exist before.
The conversation is important.
You said it's important. And by the way,
don't get me mad. Are you having them conversations?
Wait, sorry.
You see my mum. I give you an example of conversation.
See my mum.
No, but your mum's.
No, wait. Let me give you this. You know my mum works.
You know my mum. I can also give you an example.
I'm just gonna say. No, I'm good. Say what you're saying. But his mum is different.
It's not good listening skills.
Your mum is different.
Let's
acknowledge that and then you go.
It's not good listening skills at the moment.
Let's acknowledge that and then you go.
Sorry, can he speak?
Just to preface.
No, because
he's going now.
So my mum,
you're the one that's
No. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
My mum would literally sit down with me and be like, how am I doing as a parent? And
Yeah,
like
exactly.
regularly, like what are the things that I'm doing? Like, what do you need me to do? What do you want me to do? Kind of thing, innit? So the space is very much like that for, you know what, at this time, when you did whatever. But
And that's what I'm saying.
The
Though,
space
you've
is
got
there.
a very different parent in that sense, from especially coming from an AF background, innit? Do your parents do that?
They haven't done that, but I had a conversation with my dad. Me and my dad, one time we were watching one of our friends, someone we knew anyway, they had a business and they were fundraising for that business, and they were doing really well. The fundraising was going really well. My dad was like, wow, this person is doing great. Like, kudos to them. I said, what do you mean kudos to them? They started the business. They didn't go uni. Like, they kind of had to drop out of college. I said, you would have never allowed me to do that. I was like, and I spoke to you about certain things I wanted to do back then, but you would have never allowed me to do that. Do you get me? So I could be doing something. I could be doing well. I could start my own business, and I'm sharp. Everyone knows I'm bare sharp, so I could have done that, but you wouldn't have let me. What that was that? Yeah, you know what, you're right. But that was that.
I feel like we've all had that conversation though.
But that was that. You know what? You're right. You know. Yeah, you're right. And I guess obviously new information has come now, innit? So now they're aware. But you're just like, yeah, you're right.
And Shane, do you know what it is? That is all that needs to be said.
Yeah.
I hear it. Fair enough.
Yeah.
We don't have to be unpacking traumas and and you don't cry. No. And there's a point at which, there's no more conversation for me to have with my parents. That's it. I think my mum said once, listen, everyone lives in their house now. Don't bring these conversations. She don't care. Leave my husband alone. We don't care about this thing. And I rate it. Actually, you lot are big people. She said, now you've got your own kids, raise them different. Shrugs. And I was like, actually, Helen.
That's exactly my point.
And I know that's your point.
Exactly
I know that's your
point.
But I think there also needs to be, I think sometimes parents can say that to avoid the difficult conversations. Because what should have been happening, what hopefully we do, is what Iman's mum was doing, where you invite those conversations all of the time. So there's no surprise, there's no big surprise at 30, I went to therapy because of what you did to me. Whoa, that's not what I want to hear. From time, I know what's going on in your life. We have those tools. But what our parents can't do is not have had those tools. And when we say, actually, let's just talk about, Shay just said, and he's getting mad defensive. Oh, well. No.
There's not anything like a perfect parenthood, childhood, anything like that. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And I think because of that, there's always going to be room for these conversations. And that's why I feel like sometimes actually, even though, again, it goes down to, and I know you might not feel like this is a one-to-one fit, but it goes down to like everything's permissible, but not everything's conducive. I feel like sometimes actually what you can do is, for being a parent now, knowing how you think over and over, even if you don't say nothing and have these conversations with your children, how much you think about, like, what kind of like life am I giving these lot? Do you get what I'm trying to say? To then turn around, and then one of your children's like, oh, actually, boom, Don't get twisted. You might get to a place where you can have a fruitful conversation, but how that can break someone, you don't know. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And that's, bro, trust me, a lot of our parents, they think a lot about how they've raised us and and they look at us from afar sometimes when we start drifting away. Cool, what kind of decisions are you making? Boom. Have the things that I've taught you, like, are they still in you and all that kind of stuff? Anyway, I don't want to go on too much about it.
Chat to me about it, though, innit?
Chat to me about
what? You don't need to be thinking that from far. You can talk to me about the fact that you feel like, you didn't do that well. Have that conversation with me. Because I don't think, because I don't think equating, like, me having the conversations, me not showing them grace. Do you get me? Like, it's not that I'm not showing. It's just that this is a fact.
It was the way it was said initially, though. The way it was said initially was a bit aggressive, innit? But all I'm saying is that, chat to me with all that kind of stuff. That's my vibe. You don't know me already. But let's stop acting like these people are us. Let's stop acting like they've grown up in the time that we've grown up, where everyone's hypersensitive and everything is a conversation.
Yeah,
things are completely different.
Things
are completely different, but we're acting like they were the same. They're not the same, bro. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
We're actually acting like that.
No, we are, man. We say, just chat to me. It's not normal, though. It's not. So we've got to educate them.
We've all evolved.
But the thing is, the education piece has still got to happen in terms of like, cool, do you know what? Actually, this is the way we deal with things now, or this is how we talk about things now. Boom. And don't get twisted. As you get older, these things naturally happen.
Yeah, but the thing is, those who know better, do better, right? That's kind of the premise of what we're saying.
And if they don't know better, you got to educate, and that's the point that I'm making.
And that's different, though.
And if they didn't know better, and the point I'm making, the point I'm actually making is that if they don't know better, I'm not going to hold you down for something that you didn't know at the time. Do you get what I'm saying? So for example, So for example, if my child does something wrong, I'll tell them, all right, cool, you've done something wrong. You didn't know better, so it's not gonna the penalty for it is not gonna be mad.
Yeah, when you know better, but you're gonna chat to them and tell them that they've done wrong.
Yeah, but I will,
But that's what we're saying.
No, but you know what it is? I think it's maybe I just got a different perspective completely. I think that's what it is, because I think even if I'm gonna chat to my mum and be like, rah, do you know what? There's certain things you did that I didn't like, and it's not to say I haven't had that conversation. I'm always laughing and joking with my mum about the fact that when I told her I wanted to do drama and music and that, she was gone. And lo and behold, I got D's in drama and music in it, so I should have listened in it. But like, I still have the conversation with my mum, but I'm never gonna be on to my mum like, no, you didn't do a good job, or boom, 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 or anything here that can make her think that that's what I'm saying. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And fair enough, you lot are gonna start acting like you lot are speaking to them perfectly, and you're telling them, no, you've done a great job as a parent. There's just this one thing I didn't like, and they're just like, oh yeah, no, fair enough. I should never have done that, because that's how conversations happen. Come on, man, you lot, man. Let's be real, man. There's a lot that goes on. I can't lie, and I feel emotional about it. I'll be real.
I can tell. I think there's a lot of emotional investment in this, whereas I'm being completely objective. Like,
no, fair enough.
And I think, I said, your unique, what you've experienced and what you've seen means that it's almost impossible for you to say something like that to your mother.
I could definitely acknowledge that. I'm definitely being more emotional about it than you lot. You
know
lot are
what I mean?
definitely being
Whereas
more objective. I'm being very subjective talking about.
And I get that.
Anyone that grew up like, man, we was there together, bro, because our parents were confiding in each other together, bro. We know what we went through, bro. Do you get? None of us is turning around and being like to our mums, bro, like, could have done more, fam. If I hear my brethren do that, I'm pulling them up. Gara, I'm pulling them up.
I don't know, man.
Especially a single man, bro. Definitely not.
And like I said, it's a unique experience. We're trying to make it. And I think this sometimes what happens often, where we use a unique experience and make that the general rule.
Yeah, I'm not even saying that.
We're saying generally speaking, should there be space for children to say to their parents, actually, I would have really loved this as a child. I think you can say, yeah, actually, there should be space. There should be space for that. I think there should be space for that.
If you're going to say it in that way, I think the way that we started this conversation, we've now, because of the way, fair enough, I've probably turned the conversation through how I'm thinking about it and being subjective about it. But I think initially when we were talking about this conversation, it was a bit more throwaway and it was a bit more actually that accountability, boom, boom, boom. Anyway, we've had this conversation offline, innit? Like I said, we've known each other for years. When we came to the house last year, we was talking about spoke a bit about accountability and all that kind of stuff, yeah. And it's like, actually, but there's still a way to speak to them. Even in the Bible, when it talks about when an elder does wrong, there is still a way that you address that elder.
I've opted out, so you win. You do win.
I don't want to win that way, bro.
I know you want to fight to the death, but we're on a timer. We're on a timer here.
I don't want to win that way still.
I hear it though. I hear it. But listen, when I talk to my parents, it's calm. It's genuinely polite. To be fair, I don't even do it enough in terms of what I should say. Even to my brethren self. Unless you done something mad, I probably won't pull you up about it. Accountability wise. If my brother does something, if you've done something that's on the periphery of bad, my mind is like, we've grown up together. You know what you've done is bad, kind of thing. You're gonna self-correct. If you've done something that is peak, that's when I'm like, yo, like, what's going on? I don't have those situations often, by the way. So it's not that bridges are moving bare mad. But when they do happen, that's when I have the conversation. And even those conversations.
That's really interesting.
Now,
my house was very much, it's feedback. Everything is feedback. And you cannot take feedback personally. You cannot take it. And by the way, feedback is delivered like daggers. It doesn't. There's no softer landing. It's not like, let me sit down with you and tell you what is this. My dad looked at my GCSE grades and said, these are the worst of your sisters.
Bear in mind.
By the way, they were not.
Exactly.
If you're listening to the manual, they were not.
Oh my days.
But that was the feedback I got on results day.
Yeah.
And you can't take it personally, even if it is personal. So I think in what Hendo's speaking about in terms of this kind of like softly, gently, or I could never. In my house, you say what you want to say, and you have to hold that. Do you know? And so, interestingly enough, when I show up online, I say what I've got to say. That's how I show up.
Yeah,
when I speak to you, I say what I've got to say. So if my friend does something, I've got one friend that we're going to have to go have a conversation soon. And I'm going to say, this kind of behavior isn't great. I'm not really sure about this.
By the way, though, I think anyone anywhere close near to me know that I don't mince my words. And I don't speak to people softly. So that's not about those conversations happening at home, because my mum gives me feedback. One time my mum said to me that it's only illiterate people that do this. Talking about stuff I do. So it's not. So feedback has always been daggers in the African household. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, I don't think anyone's experienced anything different. I don't know. I think it's. I don't know. Anyone that has lived with me or been to my house or heard. Even this is the one I'm sharing online. By the way. This is not the one I have to go to therapy about. Do you understand? So you have to understand that what I'm living is different. 100%.
You know, the delivery, everything is different. So yes, all African households or all Nigerian households may have been similar, but I think what I didn't get was, oh, you're so dumb, you're so shit. I didn't get that. So dumb. What can you? Whoa, I never heard that. Do you get? No. But I can.
I never got that either, by the way.
Dead in the eyes and be like, do you think you're not? This is horrible. and I'm 5. I could be 6. It doesn't matter. Feedback is feedback. And so, but I also think that we're in the age of, in as much as we're in the age of accountability, but also in the age of like almost ignoring these things as well. Like in this, we don't really want to be perceived. We don't want to be our authentic selves. We don't want to, I'm probably going on a tangent here, but we don't want to invite people to our homes. I'm not saying us here, but people don't come to our homes anymore. We go for brunch. It's very much like optics. And so I think that's also feeding into our expectations of friendships and having difficult conversations. Yeah. I do think there is a real avoidance, like, oh, actually, it's all right. When we get there, we'll get there. But I don't think that that's how we were necessarily reared. And even in school, like if your boy does something wrong, you go, yeah, what's up? Something all right? But as an adult, it's almost like, you know, everyone's busy. Life is lifing is the phrase I hear all the time. And that is some sort of way of not saying, you're not showing up for me.
Yeah.
I think to be fair, I think even as adults, if you talk about friendships and stuff like that, I think the way, again, there's a lot of dynamics. And again, do you know what it is? I hear a lot about speaking generally, but I feel like when we speak generally, there's just too many caveats.
What do you mean?
So I think if we speak about everything like in a very objective way, everything can be true. Does that make sense? Like there is no 1-2 scenarios that's really going to be the same. If we're speaking about things generally, we have to speak about it so high level that it doesn't really hold water. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So I'm saying when I start talking about these things and I start talking about it subjectively, if I talk about my friendships now and I speak about if someone wants to pull me up for doing something wrong, no one is going to drop feedback to man like a dagger and expect it to go down well. And that's not, you can talk about that might be toxic in terms of the way that I take things and all that kind of stuff, like, and that's fair enough, like I'm willing to acknowledge that. But you would still speak to someone, especially, let's talk about relationships. Like when we talk about men and women, how many times have women pulled up men or I'll talk about even my missus, like, it's the way you say things sometimes. Do you get what I'm trying to say? That's a common thing that we hear a lot of the time. So that means we do sometimes need to, regardless of how we've grown up and how we've been given feedback, sometimes we do have to tailor our message or say our message in a certain way that is received. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And because of that, sometimes actually we do pat people on the back a little bit and we do cushion it and all that kind of stuff. We do that.
Yeah, I think it's weird, isn't it? Not weird, but it's interesting because sometimes you have to think about what's the outcome that you want. If the outcome is that you just want to say what you want to say, you can deliver it however you want. But if you want changed behavior, if you want a relationship, if you want whatever you want, that is how you articulate. That's how you drive the point home. And I think that's something that delivery has never been my strongest point. And then I opted in for silence because it's easier to do it. What's your name here? And that's why, in terms of what Shay does, like I think I understand why that, because it's an easier life. It's a stress-free life, but I don't think it's a life that allows us to become better. You know, in terms of as your friend, if you've got something to say to me, how do I improve? Yeah. It's just like, oh yeah, it's all right.
I hear you. What's so funny? Something happened, and I remember I sat down with someone and had like a serious conversation, like about something that happened. I was like, listen, spoke to them. Then after, like 2-3 weeks later, something else happened that was kind of worse, and I was thinking, like, what did I say to that person? Like, did I cushion? Like, did they hear? Did they hear what I said?
Yeah.
And obviously it could have been nothing to do with what I said. They could have I could have said it. They could have disregarded it and then just done their thing. But I was thinking, have I said this in the right way?
And I think, I've been thinking about that a lot in terms of, okay, cool, I say this thing to you and I make it so soft that you actually miss the point. In fact, we're doing kumbaya by the end. And so what's the problem? In fact, you might even offer an apology first to make sure that they don't feel bad. So everyone's apologized here. And I'm thinking about, in terms of work, the times that you've had the most change or transformation in your behavior. How were you spoken to? Was it like, hey, Manuel, I just want to talk to you about... Was it like that? Or was it quite direct and like quite firm? I'm like, do you know, you really messed up here. Yeah. This isn't great.
I hear it. Agreed. I actually agree.
I don't know. And sometimes my daughter, she's going to be 3 soon. Like the other day, when I call her to me, she knows. Come here. I've never beaten that girl in my life. Come here. She knows. Sorry, mummy. Sorry, mummy. Oh, she knows. Because she knows that even in as much as we are best friends forever, and I don't play. I said, one time she did something, I said, I think it was, she put the volume, I said, this is too loud. I turned the volume down. And then she turned the volume up. And I said, I don't play those games, you know. I'm not to be played with. I know you don't know me. You just met me 3 years ago. But I'm not to be played with. And she looks in my eyes and she knows. I could be like, darling, I want to talk about what you just did here. I could be like,
but wait.
And sometimes we have those things where it's like, after she's apologized, we have to do another debrief where I'm like, come baby, let's talk about this.
But wait, am I bugging out yet? Or is your thing not soft parenting?
What, like, am I parenting gently?
Yeah, sorry, gentle parenting. Is it
am I?
Parenting?
I'm as gentle as, as someone can be if they were raised by the people I was raised with. Okay,
cool. But then, so no, because I think we've had this conversation in the past, and again, this is additional context that people don't know in it. But I think my thing was very much, like, man is, I'm kind of strict in it. Like, I'm kind of like, when I say something, it's said in it. Do you get? And I don't cushion things and all that kind of stuff. But then I thought your thing was always more like even what I'm saying to this, I feel like we've even swapped places, bro.
No,
like,
do you
I feel
know,
like
it's a really interesting question. I think I remember I'm a teacher by trade. So I just have expectations of how a class should run.
Yeah.
This is just what I bring to the room.
Deputy, not just teacher.
But like, because of that, there is just expectation all the time. And my expectations are in the sky. So I expect my daughter to behave in a certain... She can come here and sit here in this podcast and sit with us here. When we go to church, she sits with me. You understand what I'm saying? Because I expect her to do those things. Now, if she fails to meet those expectations, she's corrected. So for me, gentle parenting, I don't know if I prescribe to. I prescribe to conscious parenting personally, where I'm alive and awake to what I've been through and how I need to show up for her, so I don't do what was done to me. Conscious about that, and I'm gentle in my correction of her. When I say gentle, I'm not beating her up and down and shouting. I've never shouted. Those are things I don't do to her because I don't think they're. But I never shouted at kids in the classroom either. Because why am I shouting at you? You will laugh at the kids will laugh at you for shouting. Why would I shout at a 2-year-old? She doesn't know what she's done. However, if she does something, come here, come and stand here. Let me speak to you for a minute. Why don't you do that?
I thought you were saying because my thing is not that raw to speak to someone for it to be receptive. That you need to be like, hey. That's not my thing. My thing is just like because my thing is very firm but fair in it. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I think that's the we always say this in it. Like we always say like be firm but fair in it. So I think you definitely got to get your point across. You definitely got to let them know what's going on and all that kind of stuff. But then there's ways that you get into the conversation. For example, if you're speaking to your husband, you want your husband to do something. If you lot have just had like a big spat or whatever it is, you're not gonna be like, bro, you need to do this thing and boom, 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 and expect him to do it. Like that's dumb. Like no one's gonna expect him to actually then go and then just do the thing. Or, I mean, you never know. But what you would expect is more that you would have to be like, alright, cool, do you know what, this thing still needs to be done. Or, do you know what I mean? You just say it in a different way because you're aware of the room. Like you've read the room, you understand what tensions are high at the moment, all that kind of stuff. That's all I'm saying. I think it's just a thing of like acknowledging and just reading the room before you have these conversations. Do you get?
And I agree with that, but I think that's a separate point to what we're speaking about, where like some of us are overlooking what people are doing and saying that we're showing them grace. So what Shay initially spoke to, kind of like, you're my friend for a while, it's actually all right. Or sometimes when we do hold people to account, holding them to account in a way that is so soft that actually the message doesn't drive home.
I think on the grace point, I think if you've known someone for a while, you know that this is not normally in line with their character. Do you still feel like you need to hold them up for that or pull them up for that one thing?
That's a good question. You know, it kind of all depends on what kind of relationship we have. I have certain friends who we have very honest conversations. And other friends, you get me? And other friends, which our relationship isn't really like that. So sometimes I'm always like, who are your default people that you talk to about this kind of thing? Is it me? Am I that? Because you play different roles in certain people's lives. So for some people, I'm the person who gives them the honest conversation. In someone else's life, they have someone else for that. Do you get me? The people that I have the hard conversations with, I'm sure they have people who then open arms, comfort them when that happens. Same way for someone else though, I might be the comforter after someone else is giving them that hard. So it really depends on our relationship and 100%. Like the role I play in your life. It's not just like a general rule for people. Do you know what I mean? It's depending on who.
Fair enough. But then are there circumstances in those different where you'd feel like if someone's done something and like it was it's obviously a mistake or whatever, but would you pull them up on it because of the the fallout or the ramifications of what they've done?
I probably will have the conversation, but for me, it's less about having the conversation and more like what I said before. How have I delivered the thing? I most probably will always pull you up. That bit, I have conversation with people like that all the time, but it's like, how have I said this thing to you? Do you know what I mean? Have I said it as if like, okay, like what you done was, was kind of mad, or have I been like, that was like crazy.
I have to like really think before I speak if I'm having difficult conversations. I really need to like consider all avenues. Like I can't just jump into a conversation where it's a difficult conversation, and or I have to have a lot of time away from it, you know? So if I am upset about something, it's not the ideal time to speak to me about it. It's not in the moment. You need to give me as much time as possible, but not so much time that I'm doing the thing that I find women do, which is like withhold affection, emotion, connection, all of those things in the under the guise of processing my emotions. No, you're stonewalling and you're being emotionally immature. So not that. Like give me the more time I have away from that stuff, like how I've been feeling, what's happened, then I can kind of speak to objectively. And I really find that when I'm too close to it, how I feel becomes the sovereign driver of the 100%. Conversation. And I think so little can be achieved when how you feel is what is driving this. Do you know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, feelings are important, but when we make them the thing, you can decide that you can mid-conversation decide, I no longer feel the way I felt about this thing that I want. Do you understand what I'm saying? You can shift. So I thought I was angry, but really I'm sad. Okay, so what's the tone of the conversation now? Whereas I think what I really like to do is just say, okay, cool, what's the general principle at work here? And also like, I've tried to stop viewing myself as like this kind of blank slate. You know, and I start speaking to what is your specific context that's driving this conversation? Because if you didn't have it, the conversation wouldn't have gone that way, you know? And I feel the same for myself. There's certain things that make me feel a certain experience I've had where I heard certain words and it's like, oh, no. And I have to know that and say, I have to account for that when I'm giving my feedback. I know that my past was like this. I know this is my issue. I know these are my triggers. And this is what you did to trigger those things or speak to those things. And that's why I responded in that way. I can account for my response because somebody else wouldn't have had responded in that way, right? Not everybody's going to have the same response. But then you need to account for what you did because what you did wasn't neutral either.
What's funny is that when I'm holding someone accountable, it tends not to be because they've done something to me.
Interesting.
It tends to be like something they've done to somebody else or another situation. So the accountability, I never really need to like decenter myself because I'm never really involved. Do you know what I mean? It's always like.
Do you think that's like a man thing? Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean by a man thing? Like I think.
Do you know what is? Yeah, maybe. But I know.
Do you know what I mean?
I have those
conversations.
Friendships
are like surface.
I have. Hey, it's definitely not.
Jab.
They actually love to say that.
They actually love it.
You know so funny as well. Out about that.
Actually,
you know so funny as well because obviously it's like they set the standard of what a friendship is, quote unquote. That's one thing.
Yeah.
And then other times I'm just thinking about certain scenarios where it's like you've been friends with this person for 15 years, and then you've gone on one holiday. And now you lot are actually like sworn enemies.
And what kind of standard is that?
How deep is your friendship? That, bro? Or like you like I don't know, like you're bridesmaids for your brethren, but you're jealous of her or something like that. And now you're actually like sworn. Do you get what I mean?
Even the conversation we had before about what you wear to weddings and that.
Yeah, like you know, like so that whole conversation around men's friendships being shallow and then women's ones being bare deep. Yeah. Whenever I hear it, I'm literally just thinking of that holiday scenario.
I'm gonna tag you in the thing that the post that I'm putting up.
I
recorded it last week. Yeah. About how men are lonely. You know the suicide rate is for men. Men speak about being lonely. Men also spend a lot of time having. The reason I say the friendship is surface is not. It's actually through no fault of your own. This is just a theory. You guys can jump on me afterwards, okay?
Tell the camera start jumping you.
Whoa, what are you?
Hey, that's my sister. That's my sister. That's my sister. Since I was 5 years old. That's my sister. Since I was 5 years old. Her dad was at my wedding. So her mum and her little sister played the sax while we were dancing. Let's just include that in. All right.
So because of the literature or the books that boys read, if they went, because all children read when they're younger, right? You know, primary school were really big on reading. Shout out them because they do a fantastic job of teaching children how to read. The books for boys are all about competition, battles, quests, that kind of thing. Whereas books for girls are about emotional intimacy, connection, and empathy. And what it means is that we are being forged and formed through the literature and the books and the friendships that we're having. So we're reading about girls who have best friendships and go to sleepovers and are there for each other. And then we start kind of replicating that behavior in real time. Boys are not having the same experience. And we've spoken about this in the past, maybe a few years ago, whereas the intimacy level for women in the friendship is a lot deeper and a lot sooner. Whereas boys, there's no reference point for what this is. So things are kind of like, they're based on shared interests. Like, what do you like to do? What team do you like to support? And that's how you guys form your friendships. The reason why I would say that they're not that deep is because there is a point at which they should get a bit deeper, which is, my parents are divorcing. We can't afford to pay the bills at the moment. But there isn't that space necessarily in those kind of teenage years to form that. So we're getting to our 20s now. And if you're lucky, I think maybe for you guys, it's how it maybe can happen, and maybe you have a breakdown, or you share, and then your boy shows you, listen, I've got the depth for you, I've got the capacity for you. But there are a lot of men who never ever break. They never have that kind of that moment where they're emotionally connected to another man. But what men do have are women. And so they have women who are their friends and their partners. And then those women become that person for them. And so men never have to bear the burden of what it means to be a friend because women are holding them up.
I agree at 65%.
Bro, I agree like 45%.
I agree
at
like
60.
That's 60.
Do you know why? Yeah, because like just starting off, like I think even in terms of the literature that we read when we're younger, like I don't think it's differentiated like that. I think we read the same things in primary schools and all that kind of stuff. Do you get it? So I think we all read Biff, Kip and Chip.
That's so mad because that's exactly because we're going on the bear hunt.
Do you get what I'm saying? These are all the books. Obviously, extracurricular, yes, then you're correct. And I don't even think a lot of guys were actually reading extracurricularly like that back then, innit? I think, which is a mad thing to say as well. It's a sweeping generalization. So if you're not involved, you're not involved. But I think in terms of like, I think in terms of evolution, like obviously how men mature and then start having these conversations, I think you're getting there in terms of like you're more right on that one. Do you get what I'm saying?
There.
That's my 45% in it. Because I think as men, I think we grow, and then we start having these conversations. I think we say these things when we're younger, and actually our friends give us exactly what we need in that time where we don't actually want to feel like because of what we're going through, we can't join in with the lads and all that kind of stuff. If I said, listen, we're going through a tough time at home and XYZ, to a girl at the time, she might be like, like, how do you feel and all that? And really and truly, I don't really want to go in how I feel. Again, this is me speaking subjectively. Now, but I think generally, that's more of the lived experience. With men, it's like, or boys back in the day, it's kind of like, whatever we're going through, it's tough and all that, acknowledge it, but we actually want to get back to having fun ASAP. A lot of the time, I feel like in our heads, it was like, all right, cool. What does this mean for having fun? That was how we used to break things down. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, and maybe I'm only speaking on my own. Like,
they resonate.
I also think that we might not tap into that depth as much as we probably should do, innit? When things are kind of going on. Recently, I was actually going to ask a question on the pod. I can't remember who was on, but just about like when bad things happen and when good things happen, when is like the time, or when do you when would you say it? So for example, like a tragedy's happened at home now, like I'm not gonna like shout one of you lot and be like, yo, boom, 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 like this and this and this has happened. It will come up and we'll end up speaking about it, but it could have happened like 3-4 weeks ago or whatever, and it will come up because I know obviously we can have that conversation, innit? Like I can share that with you lot, innit? And you lot would have whatever conversation with me about that, innit? But I feel like if it was like a woman or whatever, something's happened, they might have that brethren that they will actually tell that brethren immediately, all right, cool, this good news has happened, or this tragedy or whatever has happened, innit? So I think we don't necessarily tap into that specific side of things, innit? When it comes to speaking about like everything, like speaking about just stuff that's going on, innit? We just don't like, yo, this person banged his head and he's in hospital now and da-da-da-da. You won't really hear that up until
more time. See that gossip.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't think we just don't yap as much as
like we don't.
Exactly. We just don't talk as much.
We just don't yap.
Yeah, so like we don't. You're not gonna I'm not gonna phone you and tap into. Do you get what I mean? But the time will happen when we will have the conversation, innit?
Yeah.
But like it's not. But the question was like when you get good news. Like when is kind of like the quote unquote right time to share it, and when you have bad news, when is the right time to share? And
before you ask that question, I was gonna say the reason I agree 60% is because I agree that women probably do a better. I've had female friends; they therefore do a better job at or they have traditionally done a better job when it comes to the holistic problems of life, or when you're going through something, they're good. Do you know what I mean? They're actually good. So are the man them. But like you said,
you're just saying that to be nice. But
no,
so
we've actually passed through things together.
So I demand them. Like to be honest, yeah, when the peakest things have actually happened to me, the man them know. It's half. But the situations where the man them know first.
I was gonna say.
The situations where the man them know first.
Let's not.
Yeah.
Anyway, you're married.
Let's not cage. Exactly. Do you know what it is? Let's say it like this year. Before you was married, yeah.
Honestly.
When you was going through the peakest things, yeah, who held you up more?
I don't know who.
Shay.
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 You know it is.
Answer the question.
My people were down for me. My people were down for me a lot.
Hey, it's a
I heard that for me a lot. They held me down. They held me down still. I can't lie.
But then it's not because probably it's not because you couldn't share it with the man them first or whatever. It's probably just because you would share it with the.
I also, sorry, just to interject here.
That is crazy.
I just wanted to say that like you guys are not the kind of stereotypical men as well.
But that's why it's kind of hard to. Do you know
Endo, I don't know. But in terms of like,
definitely not, man.
Traditional. What I mean by that is a lot of I think a lot of men don't necessarily value women as like people outside of what that kind of stereotype, the role of the wife and the mother and things. But there are some men who, even if they never got married, they would have women in their lives as their friends. And you can tell those women, like I always speak about Shay as somebody who I know that he respects women because I've always felt respected by him. I've never felt like my opinion is less than him. And I'm not the only girl. Woman/girl. We were obviously been friends so long. When I was actually a girl, we were still friends. When I became a woman, we were friends. And I'm not the only woman that is his friend because he values and respects women by and large. And so I think we just have to a caveat for that in the room, that if you are somebody who has been emotionally connected to women for a long time, for decades. E-Man is one of my, like, you guys, you understand, we know what it is. This is not the audience, because actually maybe the loneliness that you feel, how you shop in your male friendships, is almost quite similar to how you shop in the friendships that you have with women, because that's, you're just, masculinity for you is not pretending that everything is okay and breaking by yourself. Whereas for a lot of men, that is what it is.
No, I hear that. Yeah, I do hear that still. But I was going to say that I feel that when we're younger, you're right, the man that might not know that your parents are going through a divorce. But they might know that I am broke. Do you know what I mean? They might not know that, like my uncle hit me, like just randomly, or my uncle abuses me, hits me and punches me up. But what they will know is that, like, yo, I'm fearing for my life, because this situation's happening for me. So I feel like, I remember even when we were younger, I remember there was one time in church, I don't know why, we were just chatting about one mad situation that happened, and you were like, oh, what do you think I should do? Like, and this was just on a random side, and it's a peak situation, but I feel like we just tend, with male friendships, we get deep about certain things. I think we get to a level about certain things, and I don't think it's not that we can't talk about the fact that, our your parents are divorcing, or like, that's that. I don't know, that bubble of conversation. I just think it's like, because at the same time, I don't think boys are having conversations with women about that at a young age as well. I think that's more like you get mature, you start talking about those things in general.
I disagree with that, in that, like, if a girl is closer, I'm talking about, let's say, between the ages of like 13 and 16, so when you start secondary school, like when you have that girlfriend, it might become that she knows a bit more. Maybe she's on the phone and she hears the shout. Like she's brought in a bit closer. And I think the whole theory is about how women are upholding the friendships of men, even though men are not aware of it, because of the work they're doing to sustain the friendships. Because you're not putting that weight on the men in your lives, you're putting them on the women.
Yeah, but there's a different way. There's a different way I'm putting on the males. No, but there's a different way I'm putting on the males. I'm not putting on.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
There's a different weight I'm putting on my male friendships that I'm not putting on my female friendships though. So
what weight would you say you're putting on?
So for example, like if I'm in or have been in serious, like, let's just say beef with someone else or issues with someone else, my female friendships don't realize the gravity of what's going on, like, or they don't realize
issues you had.
They don't realize the fear that I'm feeling. They actually don't get it. Do you get me? Whereas my male friends, when I tell them this, they know exactly. Fam, they can call me, "Alright, you safe today, bro?" Because listen, we know the extent. Whereas my female friends won't get that. However, you are right actually that my parents are divorcing. They might bear the weight of that more. So of those things, my female friends hold up the friendship in that way. But I think in others, but you know, let me not lie. Like I say, I've been blessed with great female friendships. So do you know, in my life, they've held up a lot. Do you get what I'm trying to say? 100%. I could have been nearly crippled, but they held that up, that kind of thing, innit? So fair enough, innit? Like, again, I'm just not speaking subjectively. That's why I'm speaking like this, by the way. Do you get me? Because this not to do with me. But me, great female friendships.
Do you know what it is? One thing I will say is the different types of issues that guys go through, that girls go through when we're younger, innit? Different things that we care about. And I think because of that, you speak to the people who would resonate with your experience a bit more and will get it a bit more. Again, that's speaking subjectively now, but I've got man that have held man down in a way that I don't think at the time my female friends would have had the capacity to listen and make me feel heard and all that kind of stuff. But with me especially growing up, my thing was like a problem shared is not a problem halved unless there's something that come out of that interaction that helps, man. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And for a lot of people, they just want to be heard. I'm not one of them people, bro. I don't care about my problem being heard. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I care about it being solved. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So I think from that perspective, and again, that's being a bit more subjective and all that kind of stuff, but I just genuinely think like, with guys, we just go through different types of issues, bro.
So back to, you know, the question I asked about, like, so if there's a good thing that's happened there, or if there's like a bad thing that's happened, a tragedy, say like a parent is ill or something like that, not when is the correct time, but isn't it something that you should be like, you lot, you know, this is just happening.
You know, we're intersecting with how we've grown up as well, because my family in particularly have grown up very private, bro. So even when good things happen now, you lot always get onto me about how I deliver the information. So for me, it can never be a thing about who shares the problems.
Not in terms of like what you do, but like should there be like should it be a certain type of way for both sorts of things? So that's why I say good news as well.
That's what I'm saying. That I think we're intersecting here, because I feel like, for example, some people are more private people, innit? And I feel like sometimes anyone can have their own opinion about whether you should be private or not, and what you should share and what you shouldn't share, innit? Do you get what I'm trying to say? I think growing up, even when my parents were going through a divorce and that, my sister wasn't telling no one. Do you get? I wasn't telling no one. My sister's a woman, she's not telling no one. Do you get what I'm trying to say? We grew up very private. Do you get? When a lot of stuff was happening in the house, when a lot of stuff was happening in other people's households, yes, our older, more mature parents will talk and confide in each other. And then through that, when they're praying, that's how you then hear that something's going on. Do you get what I'm trying to say? That's how we actually understood that these lot were sharing what was going on. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But actually, a lot of us grew up very private. So what happened in the home stayed in the home. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, that's how we actually grew up. So I think even in terms of like us and our friendships when we were young and all that kind of stuff, I feel like, fam, when certain things were going up, we weren't actually sharing it just because we weren't sharing it. And it wasn't a mad difference between the women and the men. I felt like it was the same. From my perspective, innit? Obviously, you lot correct me if I'm wrong. But yes, I feel like when we get older, we start having more mature conversations, and because these are the things that are now dominating our lives. Back in the day, what was dominating our lives is that, this girl called me ugly, or she didn't like my, or da-da-da, and boom, boom, boom. So I think now, again, it's something I'm still working on. I do feel like there is a time to be like, do you know what? Yeah, man's having a child, or man's da-da-da, or this is that and the other's going on, and this is that and the other. But I'll be honest, like, even me saying that, bro, do I really think that? Like, bro, like, you'll find out when it happens. Like, you'll find out when you find out, bro. Like,
what do you think, Joe? Is there like an appropriate kind of time? And I'm deliberately saying good news as well, because bad news might be something that is like you want to, you actually want to keep within the family, innit? But good news is actually something that should be like shared really like amongst your people, innit? Something to celebrate or whatever, innit? So good news and bad news should there be like, I guess, like an appropriate time, or like should you actually share it basically amongst your?
They tell you not to as well, though, innit?
Do you know what it is? I think in general, look, like, I think we should celebrate with those who celebrate and weep with those who weep. Do you know what I mean? So in general, like, first and foremost, that information should be shared, innit? So let's say that it should be shared, when it should be shared, how it should be shared,
and who it should be shared to.
Like, for example, if you got like a mad promotion at work, if you didn't tell me, like,
I know you won't feel offense on that like that, but I'm just saying that should it be something that's said? So you know what we're saying about like how the man
has to be said. I think it's brazy.
No, sorry, not.
Is there a moment? But then, what's an example of a moment that it should be?
No, as in like, should it be like, cool, boom, I've got this news. I'll share it with my family. I'll share it with my missus.
I think,
and then the man then will. Obviously, that's immediate, innit? That goes without saying. Obviously, they will know, innit? Because
by the way, I think a lot of things will be solved. Yeah, friends just like met up more.
Yeah, exactly. It's about talking more as well. Still,
if there was more community, then we know that we're gonna see each other next month.
Yeah, I told them
Maybe
this.
I'm gonna.
I've started doing this new thing. I'm making Oxtail. You coming? I don't even mind.
I hear it.
Come tonight.
Yeah.
What's October? No,
That's what I look
there's
forward
dinner
to.
There's dinner happening in my house
hear it.
right now. Just
I hear
come.
it.
That's actually what I look forward to, like about moving out and that. Like, you lot.
Just
Yeah,
come.
yeah.
Because now there's a space where you can actually chill in it.
Yeah.
But there was a time here, basically, I nearly had a fight on the train, innit? And I was chatting to my missus about like just the day or whatever, and I didn't speak about the fact that I nearly had a fight on the train. Because nothing happened, did it? Like we didn't actually fight, so there's nothing to say.
Yeah.
But I can't remember when it came out. That I was talking to she's like, what the hell? Like, isn't that something that you're supposed to say?
Hey, do you know why that's a good point? Yeah, because I think that relates back to the point we were talking about. We talk to men about certain things. We talk to women about certain things. Yeah, and obviously it depends on what you're looking for from that conversation. Yeah. So I feel like when you're chatting to the man, them, like someone will be talking about something like that that's happened, and you'll be like, yeah, you know what? The other day on the train, but that's less likely to come up when I'm chatting with my missus. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
If I didn't tell my missus that, I'm deliberately not telling her. If that happens to me on that day, do you know? If that happens to me that day, and we're talking that day, and I didn't mention that, I probably didn't.
You know, it's as well. I kind of forgot.
You know what? So this is it.
That happened, did it?
Yeah.
Every morning. So I wake up at 5, and now my husband wakes up at 5 as well. And like,
I say, copied you.
No. Do you know what happens? Yeah, they wake up, they start making bare noise in the house. You have to become a morning person.
No, if you have
become a morning
children,
person.
9 o'clock, we've already done. We've gone to the Isle of Wight and come home. So it has to be if you want to live your life, you wake up earlier.
Yeah.
That morning, every morning, I'm not gonna lie, maybe like 15 minutes, I'll just speak non-stop. I'll just tell him what's in my head, what I'm thinking in my life, and I should bring it up to speed, and he just listens. I don't think there's ever a time where he does the same thing. So I definitely think that men and women operate quite differently in what they share. Like he wants to talk about like, oh, have you seen the Dame, this breakfast? He wants to talk about that. That's not what I'm interested. I want to find out. So how are you feeling? Like what's happening inside of you? That's what. And he's just like, this is no fun. This is absolutely not fun for me. And we've had to kind of figure out our middle ground of like, okay, cool. I need to learn how to talk about things that are quite like inconsequential to me, and he has to be able to open up about the things that he would rather not speak, because it's like, when are we going to get back to the fun? And I think that difference in rearing means that sometimes there's a tension that, especially when you get married, you have to navigate, where men then have to learn to be open, to say what's happening inside, because that's never been an expectation of them to exist in harmony and happiness with a friend. Whereas for women, actually, what you conceal is indicative of how close or distant we are. Whereas for men, that's not the case. Actually, we can be best friends, and I haven't said this thing. Whereas women, actually, the mark of our best friendship is that you know things that other people don't know.
Do you think that men don't say, or the way they say? Because I think what happens a lot of the time is that I could be like, yeah, man, this thing happened, man, it's long. Do you get what I'm saying? And then, again, you're going to get onto UK men about the adjectives we use and all that kind of stuff when we describe stuff. Oh, yeah, it's calm. Oh, yeah, nah, it's long. This is a hype. Da-da-da, boom, boom, boom. And I think we talk more in that way. And actually, yeah, we've expressed ourselves and we're happy with it. Yeah, this thing's a hype, man. Da-da-da, boom, boom, boom. This thing happened. Oh, no, you buoyed it there. Do you know what I mean? But actually, those things mean a lot to us.
Language is important, by the way. Language is important still. But I know exactly what, like we said, I know exactly what you mean by you saying certain things to me.
But then we'll say that and we'll feel like, oh no, we've expressed ourselves. But then it's like, no, but how do you really feel?
Yeah, but I hear that. But I do think there is, like, for boys especially, there is a diminishing of their emotional experience. And so that's long as a hype. Like, you might not, when you dig deep down, maybe that's not how you feel. But there's not actually space. You haven't been conditioned. So we have been, as women, we've been conditioned that all our emotions matter. That is bad. Not all of your emotions need to be expressed and spoken. That is not the truth. Whereas for boys, inversely, it's happening where nothing is worth speaking about. And so you're having to decide all the time, how important is this? And I don't think these are conscious things, like, oh, I'm not going to say this thing. You are so used to not saying anything that it's long, man. And you might think this is mumbo jumbo, but I definitely feel it when you get to married life. And then you're expressing, and now it's a dam that we can't close because you've never had a space where I can just speak about these things.
Do you know what it is? We had this conversation at the wedding that we just went to, innit, with some of the women there. And what I think that holds to be true more generally is that, and again, listen, everyone knows me. I ain't doing no woe is men and woe is me and all that kind of stuff, innit. But a lot of the time, actually, let's be real, like, we talk about it publicly, like, yeah, men should talk more and all that kind of stuff. I don't even want to say this because it actually makes me feel cringy. But then actually, women don't actually want men to be. You might be an exception from the rule, like, and there's plenty more that are exceptions from the rule, yeah. But when we spoke about it, then I lied. The resounding vibe from the women was like, "Come on, man!" Like, it was like, "Come on, man." Do you get what I'm trying to say? And that is the honest truth of the situation. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
You
Like,
said someone said something like women have men have God.
Yeah.
Whoa, I think that that's really sad because some men don't have God as well.
Yeah.
When I say don't have God, as in the men in church will not lift up their hands and open their mouths to pray because they don't want to be seen as feminine. They do not have God. Do you understand what I'm saying? They don't even feel, they can't even connect with their savior publicly or even privately sometimes because they've been so conditioned to believe that if I cry here, I'm less of a man. It doesn't mean they don't feel that they need to cry. How many times the Holy Spirit can mash you up? What do you mean you don't cry? I don't cry. What do you mean? That doesn't even make sense. To your point.
I don't cry though, but I've cried.
To your point.
I don't cry, but I cried.
So you made it this far in the pod and you haven't liked, you haven't commented, you haven't subscribed yet. Come on, man. You know what to do. Cool, yeah, let's get into some testimonies. So we like to do testimonies every week, shine a light on what God is doing in our lives.
Yeah.
Testimonies encourage faith. We're trying to do that here every single time. Mine is I'm in the thick of the wedding stuff. We're literally we're here. And it's crazy because at the beginning, there's so many things that it's just like, how are we going to do this?
Yeah.
Like, how is this going to fall into place? But we're literally like, we're here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, ready.
Like, everything is aligning. Everything is aligning, man. So yeah, I thank God, and I thank God for the people that are around me as well because they've made things align. They've like come together and helped me in terms of everything just falling into place, innit? And yeah, even though it's not. No, I'm not gonna say that it's bare stressful and all that sort of stuff because that's like the thing that people say or whatever. But I'll say is this week, everybody talks about the week of the trial or like the build up to the trial. Yeah. As I've been sitting here, I've certainly received like 3 phone calls. The 4 phone calls, one of them is something has gone wrong, and I know 2 people are shouting at me about, cool.
Yeah.
I've got names that asking me, can this, like there's just bare stuff in it.
Yeah.
But ultimately, like things are falling
into place.
Into place still.
Thank God.
Yeah, man. And I'm looking forward to the two events still.
What?
Blast this Hi.
Let me say that, fam. Any cool I can help that bet, let me know.
Yeah, exactly.
And think about this guy.
No.
You have to say bare times.
I'm going to make a video about this as well. Yeah. One of the things that everybody does is say, "How can I help?" and stuff like that. Which is obviously like you should do that, innit? But there's bare stuff that is like, one, you might not be able to help with, and 2, it's kind of like I don't know, I need help with it until it kind of presents itself. So I can't like beforehand be like, cool, can you help with this? You know what I'm saying? But what I'm actually gonna end the video with is that one thing that you know for sure that someone who's doing a wedding is gonna need is money. Like you know and even if they already have bare money, it will help because they can actually use money. So one thing for a fact, you know that somebody who's planning a wedding.
Everybody wants to help except for with money. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
They want to lift cans and put water in the glass.
And that's the thing as well. When all of that is already covered, whereby, like I was just talking about the people that are around me, there's bare people that are okay, this person did this person, can you help with this, can you help with that? And then there's still bare people saying, how can I help? I can't really, there's nothing really to kind of help with.
But then, do you know what it is? I think a good thing would be like, do you know someone that does, do you know someone that...
But then all of that is kind of, we're at a point whereby all of that is already, do you know what I mean? All of that is already done, isn't it? But I know for a fact, anybody who's planning wedding, even if they have £1 million, if you give them £200, they can use that £200 for something.
You know, I think the thing with Arjun, because I remember I thought about this when I was getting married as well. Yeah, the reason why the money thing I wouldn't expect it is because you get people to buy your material for the wedding, and then I've done destination. So then you ask people to then fly out, to take annual leave, then ask people for money on top. Yeah, it's kind of like.
I'm definitely not gonna ask them for money.
Yeah, I know.
How you can help?
How you can help? Yeah,
you can definitely help by giving money, innit?
Yeah.
And I think to Shay's point, like when we in days of old, as Hendo said, when they're doing basketball court wedding, and everyone's being cool at rice, everyone's cleaning up. Everyone it's a community effort. So you're definitely gonna get more gifts. But when it's like, okay, cool. People have bought the material.
That is money as well, but that is part
and that is also a part of
and that's the investment, isn't it? People see the price and they go, Okay.
But I think
put the money down there.
I also think the fact that you've done things a bit differently, where it's kind of like this is the cost and this is how much it costs. With the material, like it's not like you've done, bro. People shotting material nowadays for like £120. For like 3 yards, bro. Like,
you can't split.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like it's like you're not doing that in it. So I think from that, a lot of even in terms of how people do weddings now, a lot more is gonna fall on your shoulders than it does on the standard person nowadays, isn't it?
Yeah. To be fair, after doing the wedding, I think after doing mine though, I think people should just do weddings differently still.
But listen, you to talk after this though.
Once you do a wedding, you're just like, oh, why did you do that?
Oh, wait, is that?
That didn't make sense.
It's so funny, yeah, because someone asked me about it the other day, and they were like, "What could you have done to make your wedding, like, to save money on your wedding?" I said, "You know what it is? The thing about it is that, well, first thing first, anything worth doing is worth doing well.
Yeah.
So you want that done well. Secondly, there's not much you can invite a few less people.
You just don't do the wedding.
You're
still gonna spend.
You can't really cut it down.
Or you do one, or you do a trad, or you do.
Yeah, bro, that's it. You can't really cut it.
Remember when I said to that time when Tips was on, and I was like, "Alright, cool, you got 75k. How much would you spend on a wedding? How much would you spend on like your first property, or whatever?" And he was like 15 wedding like. And we were like, "Oh, shit!" Like, and you know what it is, yeah? It's kind of like, but this has kind of been like the manners mentality for a minute. Do you get what I'm trying to say in terms of actually? The only reason why I think we actually end up doing a lot more is because you do still want to give. I don't get twisted. Some men actually want to have a big wedding, like 100. Bro, I told you already. I pulled out one of my brothers said he spent like. I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah, I remember. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And I
it didn't make
like,
sense.
bro,
Like,
it's crazy.
I was like, bro, why have you done that though?
Yeah.
Like, and then like I know what's going on. Like afterwards, and you've got bread, so it's calm. But it could have been. Do you get it? And you know that. But one thing I will say is that as much as we get carried away with actually. The only way to save is to not do this, that, and the other. Actually, it is a memory that you've built. Your wedding was beautiful. It's something that you got the pictures. You got all your people them there. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
I was actually looking at it the other day still. Yesterday.
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Imagine we got the wedding album when we went.
Oh,
bro, I still remember the green from your wedding.
Oh yeah.
I still remember the green.
I've got legendary photos.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So when we were talking about, hey, you gotta look.
It's true. I have a picture of the fireplace outside the fire.
And I was saying this to
the slippers as well.
Yeah,
I think you were like the first that done that.
Yeah, it's fine. I think I even started the fire that day outside.
Oh really?
Bro, I remember from her wedding. Yeah, just gonna sound. You're gonna look very big, but lamb shank. Remember? Where that from? They said that's lamb shank at his wedding, bro. I said what?
I would have enjoyed that wedding if it wasn't my wedding.
I remember. Sorry, one funny thing I remember from the wedding is that Joy was on stage, and I think someone was talking in the hallway. Bro, she looked at me. She gave me one deadly stare, bro. I just got to that. It was so funny. She gave me the most dead that, and she looks at me as if it was me talking.
I think it was. I knew that Shay was on. Like he was. Running point, guard, whatever, on the day. I don't think really it was, how can I help? How can I? It wasn't that. On the day, if the church is locked, Shay's trying to get the church open. That's what it was. But I will say, in terms of money and investment, I don't think, obviously, weddings are not an investment. They are, in ways, a waste of money. I want to caveat that by saying, though, my husband and I were talking the other day, and we're like, okay, cool, we've got our daughter's first birthday coming up. We could save this money. Actually, now that we've done one first birthday, we know how much it can cost, and we know it's like kind of like a wedding.
Yeah.
But I said to him, gathering our family like this is invaluable.
It's fun, yeah.
We can't put a price on what that memory is for us. And so, in as much as you've spent, and maybe in ways you'll look back in the way that Shay and I, why did we do that? That was a waste of money. However, this memory, I can't have this moment.
You can't.
Like, and that us all bringing together and that excitement, obviously it's not going to pay your bills for month one of marriage, it's not. But you are giving us a gift as well, you know? And so sometimes you have to kind of see it as more of like, what am I giving the people in return as well?
And whether, the question though is whether like you would have the same memories doing less.
I think you'd have different memories with less people.
Yeah.
But I think what people can really do is just say, okay, cool, like just have a hall party. You can just have a hall party. You can just not even do that. Like I can just forget all of that. Bring everybody together. Not even have a table. You can just have a party. You understand what I'm saying? And you can have food trucks, and you can just.
I hear it still normalize wedding parties.
You can spend 5k on that thing because the hall's not going to be that expensive.
DJ's
not gonna be, you can cut and you can have the same memories. But I think, as I said to one of my friends, I said to him like, if your fiance intends to wear a white dress, find out where she wants to wear that white dress, because she might be saying a lot of things, but if she's wearing a white dress, that means there's a wedding happening. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because it's actually the woman drives the price up.
It's true.
Yeah.
And so if she needs that white dress, well,
yeah.
just wrap up all of this food truck.
It's true. One thing I would say though, I do value trads. I do value trads as like some kind of culture being preserved. Like let's still do something. Do you get me? So even though, because I told my missus initially, let's pick one.
I think I remember.
Remember?
Still, yeah,
I was like, hey, pick one. Let's find out. Wait, like, whatever you want, pick one. This is what they start. It was beefing me for like 2 months. You know what I mean? But that's when the families were like, no, look, let's come together. Let's do it. Because I was like, listen, like liquid cash, because it's not credit.
Yeah.
You're
What's
actually
crazy though is
cash,
it's just
bro.
so crazy how much money can be put together though.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
It doesn't make sense how much money can be.
And
put
If
it
I
makes
have
you
a
think though,
business,
innit?
if I have a business that's a
Obviously.
fundraiser, I wouldn't get that money.
Exactly.
make
Yeah, but
you
obviously it's because of the sentimental value and what
Yeah,
what
yeah.
it is and all that kind of stuff.
You just can't get, and that's why when we were receiving donations from family, I wasn't even blinking. I wasn't ashamed. to ask, Because actually, you're not gonna give me this money outside of this. So let me take this money.
It'll be so funny, yeah. If I was like, yeah, guys, we'll do the wedding, yeah. They're like, sack, fam, that's fam. I bought everyone to
And then look, I bought a building.
Investors.
fam. That hold up share packs. Yeah, guys, look, this one. Hey, that would be so funny.
I hear it still.
Yeah, man.
No, thank God, though.
Thank God.
Thank God. Mine is silly, yeah. Not silly, but you know when like this year I feel like money just been leaving my account. There's always something. There's either like a fine I forgot about from last year, or that has to get paid for. I was going back and forth, with one council about something for time. And basically, literally this morning I got the email that I won that. I think listen, they were trying to charge like, let's say 3,800. Yeah, for
excuse me.
3,800.
£3,800.
£3,800 for something here that's the equivalent of like £1,000 over 12 months. It was insane. But yeah, I won the argument. Listen.
A win is a win, baby.
Because if they told me that I have to pay that thing, I'll be sitting here silent. I'll be sitting here silent, bro. I was like, listen, I haven't told my missus yet, so she's going to hear it from this. We won, baby. But yeah, that's me.
Thank God still. For me, the maddest thing is I had like 3 testimonies, bro.
Listen, really.
You know, like, first of all, obviously it just come back from one of my friend's weddings. Someone that man's growing up with from, bro, I think it was in year 4. I didn't even know it was year 4. I thought it was,
apparently they kept saying that.
My other brother was, he was a bit yacked in it, but yeah, like, so man's known him from year 4, bro, and like, honestly, even when they were doing a speech and one of our other brothers was talking about, like, remember like school, Dixie's, after school and exercise, and I was like, yeah, bro, like, and it was mad nostalgic, but it's just the realization that, bro, like, we're here now. Do you get? And like, bro, like, do you know what it is as well? It's just one of my boys that, again, it's one of my boys that I think about, cool, what's this gonna look like for you? Do you get? And now seeing it play out, and it's so beautiful, bro. I was like, bro, I was just messaging my missus. I was like, yo, you gotta be here, man, because this stuff is crazy, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? And it went well. Everything pops. Everything was nice. So yeah, we thank God for that one still. And then the other thing was like, so even as I was there, obviously there's stuff going on at home or whatever it is, and like, bro, like one of my brethrens, or one of our friends, shout out Leslie, because bro, I even wanted to call her, and just start crying on the phone first, just so she knows that what she's done means a lot to man. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But bro, support network, big her up every single time. Still, I can't lie.
Yeah, we'll hold that one still.
Thank God.
Thank God.
Thank God.
You say guys don't share.
Don't share. I remember I was saying as well though that testimonies is a good way of.
Oh yeah. Also finding out what's happening.
Finding out what's happening, and it's every week, innit? Do you know what I mean? So the opportunity now presents itself to you. Cool, boom. This happened.
Even when I came in, said, okay, cool, I'm better now, But even when I came in, you know when I was saying to you, like, you don't know what you've done.
Yeah.
Because imagine like going through no, I can't.
Yeah, cool. Thank God.
No, remember.
I tell you, pattern up, man. This is not for everybody, man.
Love. I started my business.
Really? Come on.
Come on. I'm self-employed. And honestly, like, I wake up to emails every day, just offering opportunities.
Clap that one up, still. Clap that up.
I'm so grateful to God. I'm so grateful because I said, you have sent me to the wilderness. and God has just been like,
providing.
I'm not seeking. I'm just doing my part, which is I just do my little videos, put them out, be consistent, be like just show up. Show up all the time, be faithful to what I've been given. And I just wake up. Hi Joy, do you wanna? I've got some work for you here. Do you wanna be doing some consultancy here? Actually, we've got a school here that wanna do this. Actually, come and do this Black History Month thing here. Like just brands who shouldn't know my name are on my website because God has given me strategy to how to. And I don't know if anything's gonna come from it, but that's not the point. What God is really showing me is there's opportunity in the land. There's opportunity where things aren't scarce. You know, and you if you bet on me,
things aren't scarce.
Long may it continue.
I'm here, so.
Long may it continue in Jesus' name.
Amen.
I'm trying to get out of the hood, baby.
Actually, you're already out the hood today. Alright, cool. Listen. Obviously, the normal game we play on the air, on the podcast. Get me? So what we do, we pick an item. You have 60 seconds to make a sermon out of it. I said,
you'll be
I
great at
thought
this.
it would be a different game.
You'll be great.
Listen, you thought it would be a
It's hilarious.
We're gonna pick that item. There's no prep time. You have 60 seconds. There's no prep. As soon as you see the item, we go. Right? So let me get my timer ready.
Do we all have to do it or just one person? Just me?
Yeah, it's just you.
Oh, you got this, man.
You
got this,
come
man.
on.
Is it meant to be funny or can it actually?
No,
No,
let's do your thing.
No, you can
Do your thing, man.
As in, so it's 60 seconds to deliver it, but no thinking time.
Okay, cool.
Can I pick that item?
Yeah, it's good, yeah. How was it?
If it's
Curtain.
3,
It's like a veil.
2, 1.
there are times in our lives when we think that we aren't able to see. You know, we are in a dark place for whatever reason, whether it's at work, in our schools, in our homes. We just feel like we're unable to see what God is doing in our lives. But I encourage you all to take a moment, look to the hills. But in order to look to the hills, what do you have to do? Pull back that curtain. Because how can you see outside if the curtain is shut? So you need to pull back the curtain, rise from your bed, go to the window, open it, and see where cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord.
Come on.
The Lord who made heaven and earth. Oh, will I stumble? I will not stumble. And so if you are in your bed today and the curtains are closed, I encourage you to get up. Open those curtains so we can see what the Lord has done.
What the hell? Come on.
Hallelujah.
Open that bloody curtain. Open the curtain.
Begin to pray. No, that is lit.
I also jokes at the end. That's so you know you had to log out.
Yeah, you had to log out.
Without 4 seconds. Alright, that
was cold still.
quick, boy. This is
cold. Come on, man.
You've been acting, you
You
know.
know this is, man.
This is end scene.
The people that the exam's gonna be so hard, man.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, exactly. So hard.
So what did you put for this one? So I tell you, you found out you put the wrong thing, bro.
It's true. Still, you're probably one of those students
That actually
Garrett.
that
Actually,
if you had the answer and
Yeah,
we
you
all
know
had the
it's
other answer,
We would be like,
your answer was actually
I
all
didn't
besides.
work hard in school, guys. I wasn't that person. I was actually the person who didn't revise. I was quite. School GCSEs, I just wasn't. A level, no, I didn't. No, you asked me what I did. But GCSE, I just didn't take it seriously on time. But I think that's the case of most children, which is why the GCSEs are a bit of a bad idea for a lot of young people, because you can't actually fathom what this means for you. Conceptually, conceptually, it's a bit off.
Yeah.
It's only when I see it a lot when they finish their GCSEs, they're like, rah.
Yeah. What kind of?
Results day. Oh.
Yeah.
And they're just going through the motions because we understand what a GCSE is because we've had so many bigger things that we've had to overcome and do and encounter. But when you're 15, you haven't had any of those trials. You haven't had any stresses. You don't know, what does this really mean for me? University, we've never even seen a university before. So how are you meant to take it seriously?
How do you get a 15-year-old to take it seriously?
The ones that have been prepared for you take it seriously, and the ones that have not just won't. Prepared for me by their parents. So you are studious, you understand the value of hard work, of discipline, you have been, genetically, you run the lottery, so you have the kind of basics, inverted commas. Maybe you had teachers who have taken a liking to you, you've loved reading books, all of those things, but parenting is probably the biggest thing. You have been prepared for me, so I don't have to convince you that this is worthwhile. You trust me as an authority figure because you've been taught how to trust authority figures, that this is important. So if my teacher says to me, you should revise, I will revise because I haven't learnt about being a nonconformist yet. I just do what I'm told. It's the ones that have great trauma, you know, who live in homes where there isn't that stability, there isn't that kind of understanding of the power of education. There's so many things that mean that I'm having to convince you to revise. If I'm having to convince you, we've already lost. What we're looking at now is maybe a C, a 4, 5. We're looking at a mid-grade if I'm having to convince you. Because if I'm even having to convince you, or let me caveat that, sometimes I've convinced you to get the 9, right? You have the kids who will be average if they can, they're coasting, and I have to try and get you to, but you're going to be okay. The children who just don't understand it for whatever reason, you can't convince them into a good grade. You can do as many motivational speak. The reason I can do that curtain thing is how many times, drop of a hat, a kid comes into the room, you have to be ready to go. You don't know what you do. You have to be ready to go, and you know you can do it. Every morning.
What's if I was there for the kid in school, you had to convince me to do well still. You had to convince me. Like, otherwise, I'm just going to
bare minimum
coast.
Yeah.
Like, I actually had, like, one of my teachers here, you know when you do gifted and talented? I remember one of them, she called me aside, she was like, listen, these lot are going to Cambridge next week. I said, you're not going. she was like, you're not going with them.
So you're not going.
You're not going with them. So you need to buck up your ideas. And I was like, oh no, miss, no, I hear you, miss. Like, it didn't work.
Well, as soon as you leave that class,
it did. As soon as I got back,
it's
back to fun. That teacher's back to fun. Yeah. But what did help me is I got my GCSE results mid, But what I didn't realize is my college, they converted your grades and then gave you your predicted first year results. And when they did that, I said no. Like, I think it was like all C's, 1D, like when they converted. And I didn't even do that bad. So I was thinking, why is it so low, fam? I stuck that on my wall. Like, in my old room, it's still there. I stuck up my wall, I said, I'm not getting any of these grades. It's impossible.
And I think that's what we had a conversation about feedback. The most powerful feedback is not soft. It's direct.
It's in front of you.
When I got my GCSEs, I said, this is what happens when you don't work hard. You can never take this again. You can never eat this again.
To be fair, I think I was one of the kids that what I would have benefited from was people not telling me how good or how smart I was. So one of the things that my teachers always used to say is that, like, smartest, but obviously he just wants to, like, he's distracting and he's distracting others. Bro. And it's like, that just made me think, I can do this when I want it. Do you know what I mean? If you lot have experienced this thing, you don't know how hard this thing is, and you're telling me, based on my level now, I should do well. Revise. Do you get what I'm saying? And then I still got all like them 5 A's and whatever and all that kind of stuff, and this is that and the other, and then the however many B's or whatever, and then the 2 D's for music and drama. I had to revise for.
You have to revise for music.
Had to. The last man, Handel created this in what year? There's no common sense that's gonna get me that answer, bro. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Drama, they're asking you about certain dramatic techniques and that. These times I just go there and just be like, change. Wins.
What? Do you know how many times you did Paid in Full in drama?
Bro.
Bare different variations of Paid in Full.
Exactly.
What?
Nigga, they ever look me wrong. Me money.
We did that.
It is.
Bare times.
I avoided it with drama because drama is where we used to have fun.
Yeah, drama's right.
So I've taken drama in GCSE because I wanted to continue to have fun. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And it was not fun.
I didn't do it for you. I got done for SATs. I got 7A though.
In what?
Drama.
You got A?
Slapped it, yeah.
You got 7A?
7A.
What's that?
So you know they used to do like 5A, 5B, 5C. You know 6C, 6B, 6A. Yeah, we're old, bro.
You're old school, baby.
That's what they used to do though.
Nah, bro.
Yeah.
They didn't do 7C,
7A started.
No, you're talking about like year 9 SAT. Like,
yeah.
He's talking about he's talking about GCSE.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's why I said I didn't take it. That's why I didn't take it for GCSE. No, I said I didn't take it. I done SAT.
Bro, I think, bro, I can't even lie.
Do you remember that though? ABC.
Yeah, no, I remember. I don't remember ABC, but I remember the 7s and all that. So I used to get 7s. I remember I got 7 in like in all the sciences. In the triple or whatever.
I think we need to abolish words like potential and sets in schools. That just get rid of them.
Sets is peak still.
Sets is
the older I get, the
abolish
more I
them.
realise.
Really though.
Yeah, we can come back to that one. But I think in terms of relating to what Hendo was speaking about, in terms of like when we speak of potential, I was told a lot about my potential growing up. and it almost kind of intimidated me. Like, oh my God, like there's a lot of pressure here. If I work, will I be able to become what they say I am? It's probably best for me not to do that and just be what I am, and then I can always tell myself I've got this potential to kind of tap into it at the right time. And so I think even for you, it can lead to underachievement in your brightest students, because they're like, oh, you think I'm great, I'm not even working hard, you know? And so I think labels, even if you think they're good labels, sometimes they can have an adverse effect on young people. And I think what I think is really interesting is when you speak to, like imagine you now and yourself, what traits can you see in that approach to GCSEs that you see in your life now? Were you able to stamp that out? Are you still trying to tell yourself back up your ideas? Are you trying, like, where do you...
Do you know what's so funny about that? So one thing I do a lot now, that these lot know as well, is that because of that, I under-promise with the idea of over-delivering.
Okay.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? So, like, if someone asks me to do something or they think I can do something, I'll be like, fam, all I did was, do you know what I mean? I don't know if I can. I even did that with you the other day. Do you remember? Do you get what I'm saying? But yes, I'm saying I haven't stamped it out. It still follows man today that actually I don't want anyone to have mad high expectations of man. Anything you ask man to do, man's gonna under promise, and then when it comes to it, over deliver.
Yeah, I think I genuinely think I reworked my whole personality after my GCSEs. Like I just changed as a person. Like I was incredibly lazy, just didn't care, indifferent, and I was like, yeah, that's it. And now I think when I look back on my life, that was a turning point. I just became I genuinely think I became a different person. It's like I was like, I can't experience this again. I need to avoid this. How do I avoid this? And that's just what I've been doing ever since. You know, like it's been a really strong
What actually changed? So what did you
No,
do?
bro, before you ask, we didn't even introduce. Even though
there's no introduction needed.
Even though
I'm a genius.
Need introduction.
And I'm even schooling genius.
It's very important.
Why important?
It's very important.
Why important?
Obviously, you've been a real listener. You get me? You've heard this.
How many times have you mentioned your name?
You've heard this before. How many times we
How many times have you mentioned your name on this pod?
A steady reference, though.
A steady reference.
Love that for me.
A steady reference. I think there's 3 names that we've referenced on this pod. E-Man Effect.
Yeah.
Miss Joy.
I was thinking, who's the third?
Actually, you also joke.
We indirectly reference tips a lot.
Yes, we say tips. We say tips. But I was going to actually say that we reference your dad and someone else often, but we just don't say their names.
Yes.
Interesting.
Pastor.
We say Pastor O though.
Yeah. Say Pastor. Like we just don't.
Interesting.
Yeah. A lot still. Get me? Obviously, that one's GDPR, bruv.
Just like it's come from a good foundation. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
You get me? You get what I'm trying to say? But obviously, we've got the deputy head of all deputy heads in the building. You get me?
Come on.
We have the curriculum consultant in the building.
Yes.
You get me? I'm most important. Most important. We have our sister in the building.
The education mogul.
The education mogul.
Come on.
Our sister Joy, man. Clap it up.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Again, having you again.
Oh yeah, it's my return.
Is your return? You get
My
me?
first return.
This ain't your first return.
Yeah, my first one on a podcast. Like, I've been invited, but it's my first time. No, I know. I've come back. My third return. No, but as in with the boys though, with the lads.
Huh?
Because you've done it with the girls.
I've only done it with the girls. I've only come with you guys once. This is our second conversation.
Actually, you've been on it.
I thought she had been on it 4 times, like as in.
No.
I thought it was like 3 audio. Obviously, one with the girls.
No, 2 of us, 1 girl. 2 of us, 1 girl. Yeah. Who else has been on it 3 times?
No,
E-Man Effects.
Has they been on it 3 times?
Yeah. No, E-Man ain't done it 3 times.
E-Man done twice.
Tips has done it 3 or 4 times.
Okay, fairs.
And Tips is the most though.
Has Tips on 3 times?
Yeah, still. Because I remember
Shay wants to give me the accolade, and I'm waiting.
But listen, long overdue. Listen, guys.
Back checking.
Hey, forget all of that. This one's long overdue.
Long.
We've been speaking about it for a minute.
I've been saying that. Even my husband said, the boys don't want to get
Come on.
I don't know.
You don't say that, boy. But
listen,
these other lot grabbing you, fam. We got you on here first, bruv.
It's true though. It's true.
It's
true. I'm on a podcast run at the moment. I think this might be my 8th one.
Guy.
Bloody hell.
It's mad.
Bloody hell.
Good though. You have
Got a lot to say, man.
Yeah, I must have a lot to say. But like, I was on. This is the first podcast that I ever appeared on.
It's great, man.
Thank you.
Important to have you back, man.
Full circle moment.
Honestly.
But yeah, sorry, bro. Go on.
So what was
Do
that?
you know what it is? I can't remember. So I was hoping you just remember.
You're asking. I was talking about the pivot, the aggressive pivot that I made in my life.
Yeah. So like, because we've had other people talk about. aggressive pivot.
The
The aggressive pivot I've had in my life. But do you know what? We've had other people on talking about what they think like key indicators or catalysts for change.
Okay.
Yeah? But in terms of your perspective, obviously you had like the motivation to change and stuff like that. But how did you actually go from being this quote unquote lazy person that you said to being more, I don't know how you would describe it in terms of your
becoming more disciplined?
And by the way, to add context, fam, she's very disciplined.
Very.
Yeah.
As in, because sometimes you can skip over it.
Yeah.
Gym, I remember when she started slapping gym. I actually have old pictures on my phone still.
No way!
I have old pictures still. Old pictures on my phone. That's when you had nose piercing.
What made you get rid of the nose piercing? Out of curiosity.
Do you know what it is? I just felt, I was going to say the Holy Spirit. It wasn't the Holy Spirit. I wish it just wasn't going well. And I had to just take the hint that maybe it's not for me.
Yeah, fair.
I got it pierced and then it fell out. I put it back in. It got infected. Had to get it re-pierced again. It fell out. Got it put back in just to the point where... And I just said, I think it's a sign I'm not meant to have this thing in my nose. And I just took it out.
Nah, fairs.
Yeah.
Fairs.
But no, listen, this woman's very disciplined still. Like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to find better examples here, but it's just, fam, in everything. Everything you can think about. I remember I'll shout you about work. So you'll be in work here. What time did you used to get to work?
Before kids or after kids? Or just like...
Good point. Let's say before kids.
Like 6:30.
Yeah. So getting into work 6:30, what time did you leave? Considering school finishes at 3:30.
When I was head of department, I can leave at like 8.
Like, bro, and then I'll shout you woke up, you gone gym in the like it was actually like time after time. These times I'll be messaging you like you're in the office, me I'm rolling in bed, bro. Like,
do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? Just to, do you know what it is? But to draw home the point, my missus like to me the other day, she was like, nah, she wants to now be a bit more like disciplined with her time, innit? And she was like I need to be like Joy where, you know where, for example, Joy will be at the house, and he's like just in that. And it's like 11:23 innit. She's got to leave by 11:30. She's like, oh yeah, nah. Do you know? Boom, boom, boom. It's like clockwork. Do you know what I'm saying? Because if I don't do this at this time, then this falls over into that time, and that falls over. And I'm just like, listen, I hear it. So that's how, like, that's lit. Like in terms of that discipline. My
life is honestly, like I was saying I was speaking to Tips this morning actually. And I said I ran 5K this morning and yesterday too. I don't mind. The only reason I don't run 10K is because I don't need to. Do you understand? I'm not running faster because I don't need to. But even then, sometimes I'll just say to myself, nah. I think yesterday I did like...
I saw it. So I think it was like 20-something minutes still.
Yeah, 100%. But now I'm trying to run. I can run.
Listen, don't worry about that. That was...
my time yesterday was like... My average pace was like 5 minutes 33 per kilometer. Today it was 5 minutes 23, and I was so upset it wasn't 22. When I finished the run, I was so annoyed. And it's like, someone said, who's chasing you? And it's like, I think it's important to train for the life that I've been given. And I never really understood what God was trying to work into me and work out of me when I was becoming disciplined. Because I wasn't disciplined like this before. Like I said, it was a pivot. I didn't revise for a GCSE except for music because I thought I was going to fail. But I think God was trying to do something in me, definitely. And I had to be open to that. So where discipline comes in, people don't understand. People think that you're doing yourself a disservice. Like, why would you run 5K? Why would you wake up at 6 o'clock? Sometimes I'm running when it's dark. It'll be 5:30 in the morning. I'm out. I'm disciplining myself. I'm teaching myself what it costs to be great. I have to teach because no one else is going to teach me. I'm not in school anymore. I don't have a parent. So how do I teach myself that this is the cost of success? I have to go and do these kind of things. I create tension. I overcome. I said, when I left the house this morning, I didn't want to go running today. But I said to myself, when I left the house, I was shouting, because obviously that's what you do on a run. I said, I show up. I say things and I do them. I trust that I will do exactly what I am who I think I am. That's who I am. It links back to our beginning point. Like, no one's going to upstage me. I am exactly who I think I am. But I'm not just that kind of like false sense of, what's it like that? It's kind of like ego and arrogance. I'm willing to do the work to become that. Whatever it's going to cost me, I'm going to pay the price because I think it's worth it. And so it's like, what I had was the moment of understanding that my potential could only get me so far. That's what happened with my GCSEs. So I did my GCSEs, got these grades, and I was like, oh, but they said I was brilliant. This is not what brilliance looks like. And I was like, okay, cool. You know this taste of failure? I never want to taste it again. So my husband asked me the other day, like, you say a lot, like, oh, I wish I'd done this. If I'd only done this, I would have done. So one of the things I talk about online is racism. And I was saying to my friend, like, Black lives don't matter anymore. I'm like 5 years too late. And so one thing I say to my husband, I wish I started talking about this 5 years ago. I wish I'm always about. And he was like, do you have a fear of like getting things wrong? Like what's going on here? There's some core belief we need to unpack here, because you always talk about what you could have done. And I was thinking about it. It's like, no, I just believe in maximizing my I think so deeply about every decision I make. It pains me that I could have gone here and I didn't go here because I didn't know. And what I need to do is extend myself grace. Like, if you had known, you would have done it. And I trust that I would have done it. But I didn't do it. And I have to accept I am where I'm meant to be.
So we are in agreement.
What?
So we are in agreement.
Oh, really? But yeah, I think a lot of people, what the life they want is it's going to cost them, and they don't want to pay the price, and that's why you're not where you want to be.
With children now, how does that? Because obviously children are really unpredictable, innit?
Sure.
So in terms of how you're so regimented in everything that you do, how have you like adjusted with children? Like
my children don't know a life without a timetable or routine. You know, when children are just up, kids are never just up. They know the day has run the same since they were born. You know, when we went in the hospital, I learned from, because you know, your first child, you don't really know what's going on. My second child, I brought the white noise to the hospital in my bag. White noise is a technique you can use to kind of teach children to associate a certain sound with sleep. So it helps them to sleep better, for those who like, you know, those who don't know. In the hospital, they must have thought I was balmy. White noise machine there, breastfeed. I started putting her every 3 hours. She wakes. I started looking at what she was doing, following her lead, understanding how she sleeps. As soon as she'd hit her birth weight, we start. And sleep training for me is not making them cry out, by the way, because it's helping them to understand this is the time that you sleep, and this is the time that you wake up. That's what I do. So making sure we have blackout curtains. I'm doing the nitty gritty, because I'm sure there'll be some mums who are thinking, oh, what does that mean? Blackout curtains, white noise machine. Those kind of things are ways that you can teach children. To answer your question, sorry, I'm doing too much. To answer your questions, in summary, my children are in a routine. They wake up, they know when they're going to have breakfast. Every Sunday before church, we go for a walk. My child said to me, I'm tired. I said, it's good to do things that you don't want to do.
Let's go. You sure?
I don't have to. You know, sometimes people think that parents think you have to be really tough on your kids to build that resilience. I'm tired, carry me. Why would I carry you when you have legs? You did this last week, you can do it this week. But you know what's at the end of this? We sit down and we have a croissant in the park and we watch the sun come.
Croissant, hey.
Baby Chino, that's what she knows.
But you know when, like, 'cause this is the other side of things, innit? In terms of like when you're very disciplined and stuff like that, sometimes do you get to a point where you feel like, actually, do you know what, all I've been doing has felt like work for so long, and actually, how do I have like that uncontrolled, or do you know what I mean, the sense of fun, basically, innit? Like, do you get what I'm trying to say? Because sometimes if you might be having a great time, a blast, but literally, like I said, it's 11:23. I got to be up in 7 minutes, and it's gonna take me 7 minutes to pack all of this up.
Where is the fun in life? I think there is definitely spontaneity missing from my life, but I don't value spontaneity, so it's fine. I don't think it's like, oh,
fair enough.
I need to book a trip to feel something. No, I need to build a life I'm not running away from. That's what I need to do. Do you understand what I'm saying?
No, I feel you. Hey, listen, say that again, sorry. That one was deeper than rap.
Like, I don't need to book a trip to feel something. I need to build a life I'm not running away from. And I focus on that, because 7 days away, I'm coming back to whatever this is. I have to build something that I'm not afraid of. I can face every day and find enjoyment and joy in it. You asked can you just repeat you asked the question, can you just repeat
so if you're very disciplined, basically,
so I said to my husband, I want a Nintendo Switch. Is that what they're doing?
It's hilarious.
That's what I want. I want to start gaming.
Hilarious.
And he said to me, like, why? Like, you're not going to do that. Because I got an iPad, I didn't use it for. I use it now, but I didn't use it for. It takes me. I'm a slow burner kind of babe, isn't it? But I said to him, I need to feel something. So to your point, I am looking for joy. I go to a dance class every week.
I saw that.
Yeah, I go
yesterday, 2 days
ago.
ago.
I go soca every week.
Soca's actually such a good vibe.
It's kind of dance.
Do you know what? I had this point, we had this bit where they were running up and down, in the soca class, and you're dancing. I was like, oh, this is how people feel when they say the Holy Spirit's catching them. You know what I'm saying? I get it. You need to put this energy somewhere. But in answer to your question, I said to my husband today, like, I've packed this bag. It's got my laptop. It's got my iPad. It's got my work. Now that I'm self-employed, I work every single day, you know? And so after this, I'm going to go and find a cafe and I'm going to work. And I'm like, yes, I've got time to work. And I'm like, this is not a life, actually. And I said, this is why I need a Nintendo. This is why I need something because my leisure is reading. But I read so I can learn. I read so I can teach. I don't think I have a point. And even with my friends, when I meet up with them sometimes, I'm still teaching, I'm still coaching, I'm still they're still tapping into those gifts, because actually my gifts are for other people. So I don't just go out and have fun, get drunk, and I don't do those things. And I'm not smoking. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? So where is my fun? Get me a Nintendo. That's what I'm saying. Get me a Nintendo.
That's hilarious.
I hear it though.
I think I want one like. So I had a Game Boy Advance growing up. Yeah, I'm looking for the equivalent. Is that a Nintendo?
Yeah.
Which one should I get? I don't know how to
get a Switch. Get a Switch.
Get a Switch. Yeah.
Play Mario Kart.
That's what I want. I want to play Mario Kart. I want to do those kind of. That's what I want.
Nintendo Switch.
I want to feel something.
I hear it. And that's an important thing though. Do you know why? Because I think one of the things I always say, it's like whenever I talk about life of discipline and stuff like that, I'm always like, do you know what it is though? Like you still have to schedule sleep. Like you still have to schedule rest. You still have to, because sleep and rest is two different things. You still have to schedule time to like relax and actually do something you enjoy. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Otherwise, you will just end up. I feel like you get into this cycle where you literally feel like all you've been doing is working for the past. Anytime you take your head up out of the sand, you're just gonna feel like you've been working and that's all you've done.
I feel like it's also important to find work you enjoy. And for me, work is not a bad thing. Some people are lazy; they don't want to work, so any work is bad. But I like to work. So now I'm like, when I work out, I enjoy that. You know, some people, because you're lazy, you don't like to exercise. That is what the problem is. You don't want to feel any exertion in the world. Not in your body, not at work, not in your home. But this life is hard. When you understand that life is one of suffering, when you understand like this life, you will have troubles. When you reframe it, you understand, okay, cool. Joy is fleeting, but it can be enjoyed. It can be obtained, but it's fleeting. What is promised is hardship. Okay, fine. If I'm here to work, what work can I do? And by the grace of God, honestly, I found myself in teaching, which I loved. I would get out of bed like this. You know, people are like, no, I'm up, I'm ready. I love what I do. I love the classroom. And now I love what I do now because this is part of my work. My work now is to come and speak. My work is to teach other people online. My work is to do like content creation, which is like acting and writing. I'm blending my skills together. So it's work, but it's rewarding work. And then I think if we reframe work as an opportunity to serve others, then we don't feel as empty. But if we serve ourselves, we can never be filled. We can never be filled by the money, by all the things that we get if it's for ourselves. But if we are serving other people and living in a way that benefits others, well, is it really work? It's a beautiful exchange, you know? That's what I think.
So what, do you know, you got into teaching, and we spoke about this before. You got into teaching. What was your motivation for getting into teaching? Because I don't remember a point necessarily when you just said to me, I'm going to be a teacher. Like I don't remember that.
I think I'm quite
that moment.
What the word stealth? Like I do just do things. So I'll just say, here's a baby. Here's my husband. Like I'm not really one for the
because that's, you know, like the point you made earlier on. That's what I was trying to say in terms of like, you know, when it was like, when is the time to tell people good news and all that kind of stuff. But you're not really saying that, are you?
I don't tell people good news. Do you know what I do?
Like,
I do relate to that. In the sense that sometimes I have to just like have like create like a close friends and be like, okay, cool, everybody. I'm about to. When I created content, I say, hi everyone, just to let you know, because I'm gonna put myself online tomorrow, and you're not gonna expect this. Just signposting this. But more time, it's just like I'm having a baby my baby's due next month. I just don't. And the reason why I dig so much into men and their inability to share is because I think that sometimes we become accustomed to being overlooked or not valuing what we have to share. I don't know if that makes sense. And that could just be what has driven me. But like sometimes my friends have to ask the same question like 3 times. How are you though? How are you? But I think how I am is so insignificant. How are you? I want to find out how you. We're talking about you. I'm more interested in that than what you understand. But I think that sometimes when you have had points where you've shared with people and they haven't met you, you know, problem shared, half that thing that you spoke about so powerfully. Like if you're not here to solve my problem, then what are we doing? We're just kicking. And then sometimes people take your problems and they do nothing with it. So there's no follow-up. There's no aftercare. There's nothing. There's just silence. And I have to deal with not just my problem, but the disappointment that you're not the friend that I thought you would be. Actually, it's better that I don't do this. And so, and that's why I dig so much into men. And I'm like, yeah, you think it's just that, but what have you been told? What lie have you believed that means that you don't get to say what's doing you? You know? Now I'm just forgetting the questions that you're asking me.
No, but it's good though. It's good.
I'm just forgetting the questions that you're asking me.
Roll the punches, bro. But he was like, what made you?
So what made you?
Oh, wonderful.
Is it that kind of vibe of I want to? Because I guess teaching is one of those examples. If someone did say, okay, what's the best way for you to I don't know,
impact
share your gift or impact? Teaching would be like
sure.
One of the first thing was it that or was it?
Not at all. I think this is one of the things where I feel like God definitely just took me there, and you know I want to get to a point like, you know, like in the same way Black lives don't matter, being like Christianity, God, all these kind of things is not sexy anymore. You know, it's not sexy to say, oh, God showed me or God told me, but this is the reality. This is the reality of my experience, where I can't put it down to me. I wasn't on track to be a teacher. I was on track to be a writer, and on track to be an actor. That's what I wanted to do. And then I was having some trouble at work where they were having some issues, and so my job situation seemed a bit precarious. And where I worked for like an academy. And the academy, they converted schools into academies. That's what I was at head office. But I was finding that I really enjoyed speaking to the children more so than the adults. Cool. Then I started working in Sunday school. I was really loving it, designing lessons for them, all those kind of things. And my mum, who had been a head teacher, said to me, Joy, you need to go and qualify. But you know, like, relationships with mothers are always a bit funny. Like, okay, like, or whatever. You know, for some people she's mentor, to me she's mum. Like, whatever, trying to make me in your image. Like,
did you have that period as well? Right, we'll get into
that. Yeah. And so, but then I remember speaking to my uncle Victor at the time, and he's saying to me, I was telling him all my troubles at work, and he was like, you need to go and qualify. This is maybe in the space of maybe like a few days. Maybe spoke to my sister that evening. She said to me, Joy, every time I speak to you, the happiest you are is when you are speaking about teaching. And at that time I was praying about, God, what am I going to do next? And I was like, okay. I said, okay, I'm going to, and so that week I applied to be a teaching assistant and I got a job. I started in September. That September I applied to be a teacher. That January I got accepted to UCL. That September I started my teacher training. And I've just been there. I was just called to that place. I was called to teach. And I know now that I'm known, and even in the same way, when it was time to leave, it was God that was like, well, time's up. If it was up to me, I'd still be in the classroom. I would be there. There's nothing about entrepreneurship or self-employment or even being on podcasts being visible that speaks to me, actually. But I think, and now when I speak, I'm like, oh, like, more people need to hear me outside of the children in front of me. I can't be the teacher in the classroom and be the person I am, who I'm called to be, which is here to be like, I'm still teaching. We're all here now, book and pen. We're all learning here. That's just what my gift is, you know?
And then, just so people know, so what was the journey? So what was it? Head of year, head of English, deputy head, or what was that like? Because
sure.
Yeah.
So
TA as well.
So I was a teaching assistant for a year, and then I did my PGCE, and then I qualified, and then I was in one school, encountered a lot of racism there, a lot of microaggressions, and applied for a role to be Key Stage 3 lead. I was told that I was going to get it they told me I was going to get it, and then they gave it to somebody else, and then I was like, okay, cool. They gave me something else, and then I said, like, I want to be second in charge of the department. Like, I was really ambitious, so always been really hardworking. And I remember getting there and being like, okay, so what's the next step? And then being like, just chill, like, learn how to be a teacher. But obviously, I've been teaching for a long time. I'd been teaching before I hit the classroom. I'd done summer university. I've been teaching children. Maybe I entered the classroom at 24. I started leading and teaching people when I was 15. So I've got 9 years of experience before I hit the classroom. So it's like second nature. I'm just learning how to teach what you want me to teach. I've already been teaching. I said, like, calm down. Then I was like, do you know what? I want. So I think it was so that year I did that kind of. I was a head of transitions, which was like a kind of nothing new role that they gave me to kind of placate me, keep me quiet. And then the following year, I was like, do you know what? I'm restless. Like, I want to do something. I want my career. And I was also thinking about the fact that I wanted to have children. I know it's interesting, like, people to say that 20s are for fun, but I understood that 20s is how I needed to grind because there was a certain amount of money I needed to make in order to be a mum, and I was going to make that so I could pay school fees. That's what I was trying to do. So I was like, okay, well, if I want to do this, then I need to do that. So I was like, okay, I want to be second in charge of English. That's like deputy head of English, and they overlooked me again. How I was so despondent. I remember saying to Mum, I came home, and this is why parenting is so key, because when I came home, and I was like, I had other interviews lined up. So I even pressured the way I did it, as you can imagine, they didn't want to even interview for that role. When I went to them initially, they said, we don't do that here. Suddenly, when I start like handing out applications, now you've created the role, but then you give it to somebody else. I'm heartbroken, and this is what they do sometimes to people like us in the system. They overlook you so many times, you question yourself. So when I'm questioning myself, my parents said, what? They pay for ideas. What do you mean you don't want to give your go to your interview tomorrow, go there and go and smash it. That's what you need to go and do. Went there, got the job. This man, Gary Phillips, shout you out. You Gary? My gaffer. Gary, love him. He gave me a chance. He didn't know me from anywhere, and he made me second in charge of English. Then he made me head of department 2 years later. And then two years after that, I was appointed to assistant head teacher. And then then after that, 2 years later, I left.
Wow.
Sure.
Okay.
But you know what it is as well.
How do you get to assistant head teacher as well, by the way? Is it a thing whereby because of the way you were like pushing for just like progression?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was pushing for
And
that.
do they, the person that's already in that role, what's the like?
So it's just like, and it's hard, isn't it? Because I can't tell you how you're going to become assistant head teacher. I can only tell you how I became head teacher, assistant head teacher. It's just, God has your life, and He's decided what you are going to do, and He's decided what I'm going to do. So the way that it worked for me is that the previous assistant head teacher wanted to be vice principal, but the head teacher at the time wasn't moving, so he decided to move. And when he moved, I was the next person. But I'd been working to move anyway. So before I was even appointed head of department, so that's before I'm still second in charge, I've already got a document called assistant head teacher, and I'm writing down everything I'm going to put in my application. I didn't apply to be assistant head teacher for another 3 years, but I'd already started thinking about it. I was already going for it. Do you understand? And if they didn't want to give it to me, I was going to go and find it somewhere else, and they knew that. So when they were trying to be like, "Oh, we're not sure, Joy, I'm not sure," I said, "Is it? I'll remember this. I will leave."
Sure. Did you say that? Did you actually say that out
I'll
loud?
remember this.
Of
course I said that.
So just you said,
Aye.
I said,
you got
I
to
said, if I'm overlooked in this process, I will not forget that I've been overlooked.
Okay.
Forget that.
Aye, they must have been.
the heart will be pounding.
The person you said it, they were like,
Yeah, they knew, and I think that's really a point. Like, but remember, you can't go around making these kind of statements unless you're working hard. I'm going 6:30, leaving at 8 o'clock. I've overhauled the curriculum. You've got Sky News here, BBC, Pen. There's nobody that hasn't come to this school because they're here to find me. People are coming to my head teacher's LinkedIn saying, "Do you have Joy there? Because I need to interview Joy." If that's what I'm bringing to the school, when I say I'm working hard, I'm deserving. I know my worth, and you know that someone's going to pay me for what I'm worth. So you've got a decision to make.
Yeah.
And then the decision, obviously, you mentioned that it was God that told you it's time to leave, sort of thing. So in terms of like, because this is another thing that's daunting for a lot of people, isn't it? Going into sort of self-employment or that kind of stuff, yeah. And then just speak about how you've prepared yourself for this period of time, because I think one of the things that people misconstrue a little bit. Sorry, I'm coming down with something, so I got a bit cold. I'm talking like this, but you know, like the actual level of work. You know, everyone wants to be like a business owner. Everyone wants to work for themselves. People don't want to work for no one and all that kind of stuff. But there's a lot of work that goes into it. You said that from working 5 days a week, obviously, albeit long hours, you're now working every day. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, of course. There's no weekends. Hustle, baby. But I was saying to my friend that, like, I've always felt like I could give more. I always felt like I wasn't maximizing my potential. There was people thought I was because you're head of department, you're assistant head teacher, whoa. But I know in my heart I'm moving fearful. I'm fearful.
I feel like your friends close to you can tell as well. I could definitely tell that like there's more to it. Do you get what I'm saying?
And I think I've been quite fortunate that the men in my life have always kind of clocked it. Do you understand when we talk about tips? Just seeing me early, just seeing me, seeing what I can do. Just seeing me from early, and so I'm quite grateful for that. But and my husband as well, absolutely key in. He saw me from time. As soon as he met me, he was like, "Yeah, this YA thing. I don't get why you are behind. Why are you behind? You're the talent." From time, I didn't think I was a talent. I was sitting behind writing the scripts, making sure everyone was like, "You're the talent." Do you have money? Where's the money? He's asking me really direct questions. Are you registered as a company? I don't have the answers. I'm just doing the Lord's work.
I hear it.
Do you understand? So in terms of, I think the question you're asking me at the moment is what do you need in place in order to make that pivot? Is that what the question that you're asking?
Yeah, it's kind of like what have you done to prepare yourself for it, basically, and how are you dealing with it essentially?
Okay, cool. So two-part question. So how was I think the preparedness
the reason, just so you know, the reason why I'm asking it is because obviously we've spoken about you living a very disciplined life.
Sure.
Sort of thing, yeah. And for someone that isn't necessarily as disciplined but needs to get everything together, you could actually have some very useful tips.
So like, I think, I don't know where to start because it's such a big question, but I think you are accountable to yourself. I think you have to believe that. So I didn't run 5 minutes 22 seconds each km today, and I was heartbroken because that's what I believe I'm capable of. I've worked out 6 times this week, every single day. Before 6 o'clock I'm up. No one is chasing me. Why am I doing that? I'm disciplining myself. I've read the Bible cover to cover. Why am I doing it? Do you think I enjoy reading the Bible? Not always. It's boring sometimes. Do you understand? But how will I meet God if I don't open this Bible? So you find different ways to discipline yourself and be accountable to yourself and stop making excuses. Oh, I will have this goal, but I didn't reach it, but it's okay because I tried. No, it's not okay. Why didn't you reach the goal? You said you want to start posting on LinkedIn. Why aren't you posting? You say you want to create content, but you don't create any content. What is going on, and why do you keep making excuses, and why do you think that's okay? You are teaching yourself that it's okay to do nothing and still be okay. Stop teaching yourself that lesson. And so I think God is so gracious in that he disciplines you as well. He gives you opportunities to learn, and you have to decide whether you want to learn the lesson or not. So you have a hard boss who has high expectations. Instead of learning how to work that system, you leave. You call in sick. You are lazy, and you want a reward for your laziness. No. Let God use that person as he used Pharaoh to do what needs to be done. Whatever needs to be done. You learn it, and then it doesn't make sense. And I think for me, in terms of like, that's a long, really winded way of saying, if you can get yourself into the gym 4 or 5 times a week, your life will change. Just do that.
Fair enough.
Just get yourself there 4 to 5 times a week, every week, and do that for a year. Don't miss a day. If you miss a day, cry, be sorrowful, mourn. Stop making excuses about your life. I say all of that because now, and be excellent. I strive for excellence. So even before we come on, I'm not just coming here like, oh yeah, what's going on? No. Okay, what questions do you want me to ask? Okay, what do you want? Because I believe that you deserve the best of me. Before I come here, I pray. I say, oh, I have to pray before I come here. I'm not giving you second-rate stuff. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I think many people are missing the opportunities to be excellent in their lives because they want to just coast and be mediocre. They think the bare minimum, because no one knows, you know, and God knows, and you're missing out on an opportunity to be the very best that you can be. And so now when it comes to like being an entrepreneur, when the emails come to me, I set my own deadlines. Oh, you want it for the first week of October? I'll send it to you next week. Here's my drafts. I'm excellent. You email me Friday, Saturday, I've got a draft of what I'm going to do in the school. Yeah, there's no problem. Let's book in a meeting. And no one is my boss. No one. Do you know, I don't have to do anything. I could just not do anything every single day, right? No one is telling me, oh, come to work on time. But maternity leave, I wake up 5 o'clock every day. It doesn't matter. Because I understand that it only takes one day for you to decide. You know how quickly your body will learn that it's not that deep?
ASAP,
bro.
ASAP.
You just got to miss one gym day for your body to learn, oh, so nothing happens. Your body will say, nothing happens when we don't go. So why are we doing this? Oh, you should just relax. You deserve it. Take a day off.
Quick snack.
Then it's been 2 weeks.
Something sweet.
Then it's been a year. Now you're afraid of the gym. Now you're afraid of the progress. The progress that you didn't make is now haunting you. So you're even scared to see yourself. And I'm using the gym not because I'm a gym. I am a gym. But it's a good analogy of how do I discipline? Because nobody wants to work out. But you do it and you show up. You do it 3 to 4 times. I would say 4 to 5 times a week. Monday to Friday. That's what you do. Do that for a year. And if you're a Christian, read your Bible every day. Every single day, do that for a year. In fact, read it cover to cover. When you've done
even if you're not a Christian, to be honest.
Fair enough. I don't.
I'm joking. I'm not joking.
I know, I'm not joking. If just read 10 pages of a book a day. Find ways to discipline yourself and do it for a year. And if you can't do it for a year, understand you've got a big problem. You've got a problem. You haven't made progress since you left school. Actually, if you're going to be honest with yourself, that is a scary scene. But you can change it.
And then in terms of like I think that's very useful, to be fair. And I think in terms of the consulting that you're going into at the moment, let's just speak a bit about that, just to people understand what this new journey looks like, and the fact that actually now you're actually able to be kind of like, you're being like unchained, essentially.
I'm in the wild.
Yeah. Literally, like if people thought your videos were provocative before, it's about to get crazy. So just speak to us about like what this new journey looks like basically for you.
Oh, so the new, it looks quite similar to what I was doing before if you're outward facing. So I'm still putting out content, probably seeing me a bit more. So I'm going a bit more aggressively. I've started a LinkedIn. I wasn't on LinkedIn before. I'm doing that kind of stuff, showing up consistently. I think the really good thing about laying the foundations well is that my life haven't shifted. It's not that now I'm like, oh, I need to learn how to be consistent. I was consistent from day one. I've always worked in this way. You know, even when I was in school and I had a steady paycheck, I still posted 3 to 4 times a week. Now I'm just posting 5 times a week. That's not a massive jump from I'm once a week and now I'm going to 5 times a week. Does that make sense? In terms of the consultancy work, so my work kind of, when I look at my life holistically and my role, it's not one thing anymore. So sometimes I'm a content creator, sometimes I'm a guest on a podcast, sometimes I'm a keynote speaker, sometimes I'm a consultant, sometimes I'm a content creator for schools, sometimes I'm running like training and workshops. It just depends on what you need from me. And sometimes it's people come to me and they're like, I've got this idea. How do I get it? How do I get to the end to end? And I'll literally walk them through. Sometimes I'll film them and edit them and give them their ads. That's what I'll do sometimes. I do so many different things, but it's all under the umbrella of consultancy, right? You've got a problem, and I am solving this problem. I hope that answers your question.
No, it does. And I think that really suits your skill set in terms of like, especially all the different things that you mentioned. I didn't know you was doing the filming side of things, but obviously it makes sense. Obviously, that's sick though.
Writing scripts for people.
No, that's
so
good.
Yeah,
100%.
I hear it. But this is
capitalism, baby.
When you say writing scripts, in what way though?
So writing scripts in the sense, books as well.
Yeah.
I've written one book. I'm writing another one. I'll come back to that in a minute. Writing scripts. So like, imagine now you have your content. You've got an idea. Okay, let's take this podcast for example. I would do the research necessary to bring this podcast together. I'd research the person who's coming on. I'd frame your questions. I'd make sure we get the best out of this. And then after we film it, I'd be like, okay, we cut this bit, cut this. This is the part that can go viral. This part can't really go viral. This is not as good. I just consult from that, and then I take you from this part end to end. That's what I do. And so in terms of writing scripts, it would be, okay, cool. You've got your content. This is what you want to say. This is what I would say if I were you. Okay, polish it up. What do you think about this? Okay, let's tweak this. Then I direct you because I can direct. So I direct you. Okay, so can you say that line again? Give me that line, because content creation is acting. Okay, do that line again. Do it again. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's good. Then I edit because I can edit because I've edited my own videos. Edit. Oh, I know what's up because I like have an artistic kind of view of the world. Oh, this music goes really well with this, and now you've got an advert, and that's what I do.
Aye. It's lit, boy.
You're great, man.
And you had the boom, boom, boom. You had the sound effects here.
You're actually great.
But then what book?
Yeah, so I wrote a book a couple of years ago, and just then had some babies, so didn't do anything with it. And then I just started working on this, like earlier this year, just started thinking about this new book that I wanted to put out into the world. And it was all about like black girls in education, but like no one really cares about black girls, unfortunately. And so I was kind of tasked with the idea, like, how could you broaden this idea so that it encompasses more about what you know about education? And I've got the concept. And as I got the concept, I'm not someone who can see things. Like, I see people, but I don't see things. Like, if you say to me, I want you to imagine this room with all this stuff in it, I can't imagine it. Some people are creative like that. I'm not creative like that. But for the first time, a few weeks ago, I could see my book. I could see it. I could see what it would look like. It was closer. And then I got an email. Hey, ever thought about writing a book? I said, yeah, I have actually. I have thought about writing a book. I've got one too.
That one is divine still.
Divine emails.
Divine, bro.
Do you know what I'm saying? So I think sometimes these things can, when you package it like this, it can sound like, oh, what? You do this? You do? Sound like, whoa, no, I'm crying in the wilderness. God, please. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, it's hard. I don't know when I'm going to be paid each month. You know when you're going to be paid. We all know, you guys all have a date that you know money's going to hit your account. I don't have that date. And I like security, and so all I do is trust God and view myself the way that God views me. God doesn't just view me as a teacher. He views me holistically, and he's given me all of these gifts. And what he's given me, I've now got space to execute. But I think sometimes when you hear people talking about what owns a business, they sound like me, so I've got a book deal coming up and I've got it. No. What I've actually got is a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety, a lot of feeling like, how can I make this work? Just tell me what I can do. You know how many meetings I'm taking just to tell me what you did so I can do the same. But I also have God, and so I think it's really important that the people that are kind of looking for entrepreneurship, business ownership, understand it's not just I get an email every day and this is no. I literally look to God in the same way the Israelites did for their manna each day and say, God, how will you provide for me today? Because one thing I realized, you think that your job is your security, but God is your security. And you think you know that until you lose your job.
All right, listen, say that one again, sir.
Oh, you get. You think God is your security.
No, you think your job is
your security. Okay, we'll cut that again. You think your job is your security, but God is your security. And you think you know that until you lose your job. And you're looking to God for, what am I going to eat? How am I going to pay this bill? Because you are your own God. That's what you are. When I was assistant teacher, I was my own God. Do you think I'm consulting God, but almost like, like this Nintendo now, I'm entrepreneurial, like we're just living. Now we're really one. So I can't buy this Nintendo without his, but before, I'm getting a Nintendo comes to the house, look what I bought. And that's how I'm treating God.
Do you know what it is? And I don't want this to go over people's heads. I think this is a very profound point in terms of, like, when we talk about consulting God, there's a way that you can do it where you consult someone. Like when we talk about races and stuff like that, like, it's kind of like an inform. Like, I'm gonna do this thing. I'm gonna inform you, God, and you act like you're consulting him, but that's not actually what you're doing.
You're not, and you are not. We're not peers.
Yeah.
No, if you understand who God is, then you understand that we are not even on the same level. So the idea that I'd even consult you is actually
insanity.
It's just wild, because you already know what I'm going to do. You've already decided what I should do, and so anything outside of that is just living in my own terms. But now I understand that, like, it's God that sustains me. It's God that keeps me. It's God that provides for me. And so I don't get in. And now it also means that when I don't get opportunities, so imagine now, let's Radio 4 hit me up. We'd love to have you on. Yeah. Okay. Great. Yeah, I'll be there. Then I don't hear anything. I'm like, oh, did they not want me? Should I send another email? But there's a former version of me that's anxious. What did I? No. The same way that opportunity came to me without any work on my part is the same way another opportunity is going to come. And the opportunities are going to keep coming. I got a rejection for some work I wanted to do this morning. I was unfazed. I said, yeah, let's keep pushing, because something else is coming tomorrow. And that's how you move when it's manna that is sustaining you. You understand when it's like, we're going to send you food every day. You just go out to collect the food. You're not thinking, whoa, the manner. Do you understand what I'm saying? You don't have any fear about whether there will be provision, because God has already said it. So now you just wait for it to fall. And when it falls, you go and collect. That's where I'm at. I'm just waiting for it to. I'm waiting for the blessing. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Hey, Jesus Christi, oh my God. Hey, listen. You took us to church again. Sorry about that.
No, man, love it.
Oh, Gaga. That was a when it was really was. It's not classic like the one I want. See, that one is timeless. My daughter will be singing that one.
You still have to give props to
when you understand that, and I think that's what it is. It's like, it's not just discipline and physical; it's spiritual discipline, and it's dependency. It's understanding the sovereignty and the sacrifice and the cost of obedience. This has cost me a lot. It's cost me. This has not been free. Everything that I held dear is gone.
It reminds me of when Paul talks about disciplining his body. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Because he's running a race sort of thing, and he talks about the cost. Yeah, so it's very similar. And I remember when we were younger, Shay always used to say to me, like, this script, one of his favourite scriptures was, obedience is better than sacrifice. And I think that that's something that we lose when we grow older, because actually my meal ticket is more important than obedience. Everything is more important than obedience, because if God says to you today, I need you to, it's time. That's not gone. What are you going to do?
It's true.
What are you going to do? People kept saying to me, so what's the next job? You can just get another job. I'm like, I don't think that's where God's calling me to. People are shocked. I just built a brand of being a teacher. Do you know it's madness to come and say I'm no longer a teacher? Do you know people could have unfollowed me because I'm no longer providing the things that I once did? It doesn't make any sense. But obedience is better than sacrifice. So what's it going to cost me? What's it going to cost you? And I'm asking you guys, because I'm speaking, but God is speaking to you guys. So what is it I know he's speaking to you. What is it going to cost you? What is the price that he's asking you to pay for this obedience? And are you willing to pay it? Okay.
Trust me, she started doing the joy thing still. You don't know, this is the thing. You have a normal conversation, all of a sudden prophecy. Normal combo. All of a sudden prophecy. All of a sudden.
What am I saying? Do you know what? One thing I did want to get just before we leave, it's just in terms of like the things that you're most passionate about, because I feel like there's a lot that you, and I don't think, this is not to box you in, by the way. This is just to understand more in terms of your identity, and who you are. What are some of the things, and I don't know if we can get that deep into the things that have shaped you to make these things your most, or the things that you feel like is driving you, or that you're most passionate about. But what are some of these things that sort of like, not even keep you awake at night, if you get what I'm trying to say, but essentially like you won't stop until you see some change?
Yeah, I think social injustice is a really big thing for me, specifically when it pertains to gender, race, class. I think those things, I just think it's so sad. I think it's so sad that where you're born and who you are born to determines so much of your life, and you are powerless to do anything about that. How you look. There's a lot of conversation around, like, am I black first or am I Christian first? You know, I believe you're black first, which is very controversial. We can talk about that.
We spoke about this.
Yeah, we spoke about this the other day.
Yeah,
I was arguing that Christian first.
And I was saying we're black first.
Yeah, and I already know everyone sits in this room. I know everyone.
Because your spirit is black, innit?
And I think that like one person described it so well, like God decided that you would be black and live in this body. You know, that's one thing. You did not have a choice in that. Wherever you come to faith, he gave you a choice, but he did not give you a choice in how the body that you would show up in, and that has shaped all of us, our lived experience, how we experience the world. What am I gonna do with this anointed experience of life? Because yes, it is burdensome, and yes, there are some oppression, but it is sacred. I get to have this body. I get to see the world through the lens of womanhood, through the lens of blackness. What am I gonna do with this? I have to speak up. And I made a post yesterday about like I don't think that you can be married to a man and truly be a feminist. And I lost a lot of followers. I didn't think that was going to be controversial, but clearly a lot of people are upset. By the way, I posted a picture of me being married to a man, so me too, I'm a man. You know, I'm not judging anybody. I am not truly a feminist. Do you understand?
Yeah.
But I was trying to explain to them that, in as much as I try, patriarchy pervades my home, and there's a lot of oppression that I experience. My husband is fantastic. He's a beautiful man, but I still carry the load in so many ways that is defined by my sex, by my gender, I should say. And so if that is the case, how can I sleep at night? If even in the home that I'm building, I experience this sense of oppression and this tension, I need to keep going. And I am someone who can advocate for myself. Husband, come, sit down. I want to speak about, I can do that. But for the people who can't, what happens to them? For the black kids who don't understand, or the poor white kids who don't understand, there's so many children, the girls who don't understand, who advocates. And I think that's where I come in. I don't think I'm going to be doing this work forever. I don't think I'm called to it forever, but I think I'm called to it for right now. And I'm just using my voice to just help parents, help schools, just amplify what can be done to resolve these very great issues that have been are with us. And this is going to be really good. People think it's kind of, we were talking about yesterday with our friends, like, if you understand that racism is spiritual, then you know that we're in a fight. What do you mean that this black boy is not going to be anything because of the colour of his skin? Why is sickness spiritual but not racism or sexism? Why? If you view the world through the lens of faith, but if you don't, then it's just a social ill, and that's fair enough. But if you say I'm a Christian, why isn't this thing that is hurting these people for hundreds of years seen as a curse that needs to be broken, or a spirit that needs to be fought? Why not?
No, that's a very good point.
That's good.
And once you see it like that, then we're all in warfare now, just by the colour of our skin. Let's fight properly.
Yeah.
Hey. Listen. Hey. Part 2. Come and see.
Listen.
I'm not even joking.
Part 2, 3, 4, 5,
The
6,
vibes
7,
I'm
8, 10.
fired up right now, guys. I'm fired up. I'm fired up.
We might have to cut this in part 1 or 2 to
Aye,
wait for that, honestly, because
this one is this is gonna be the art of discipline, part 1. Part 2, we're gonna go somewhere else. We're gonna go somewhere else in part 2, man.
Second, boy, the art of the wilderness.
Listen,
Another topic.
but listen, you see, do you know what it is? I don't wanna, even though we're busting some jokes now, I don't wanna even take away for a minute from what you just said, because I personally believe that everything happens spiritually first. Right? Everything happens in the spirit before it happens in the physical. So I feel like when you're talking about racism in the way that you've spoken about sexism, all of these different social injustices, I think that's a statement that hasn't really been made before like that. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So even as you're saying, I'm like, actually, do you know what? That's a very good point. Because people will say that we're being over spiritual, being spiri when we talk about this sickness or this, that, and the other. But those things still exist. People still do think that actually there's people that have come out and said that, do you know what? I wanted to stop this congregation from fasting and praying, so I hit their pastor's child with some sickness. Do you get what I'm trying to say? They've told you that they've done this sort of thing, innit? But for some reason, it's not cool. Even what I'm saying now, probably this ain't a viral moment. Do you get what I'm trying to say? This is just talking about stuff that actually, do you know what? You know, there comes a time in life here where there's certain things that you need to know. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And I feel like there's certain things that you need to wake up to. And I feel like this is one of those things where you need to know, but it's not the most glamorous thing. That actually, do you know what? Nearly 100% of everything in your life is spiritual. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Nearly every single thing that you do. Listen, even the fact that this thing, the sun has come up today, bro, the day was birthed, as in like the evening came first, the day was birthed in the spirit before anything that's happened. Like, I'm just not going to go too ham, but I think that's a profound point that people need to think about. Actually, a lot of these social injustices, we're not just fighting against
flesh and blood.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? Oh, come on. We're not fighting against flesh and blood. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
If you understand that every single thing that happens to you has spiritual consequences, everything that you do has something. And I think people who... there are consequences for this work that I'm doing right now. Negative consequences exist for me. I don't know when it's going to show up. I don't know how it's going to show up, but it's coming. Because one thing that they don't want is for people to be free, eyes to be open, people to be free. And that is what it costs. That is what the cost is. And that's why I understand why people are just like, I'm not... It's better, actually, for me to say there's no God and just sit back. Because when I say there's a God, I am now... We're now alive
They want to be in bliss.
to this struggle. And I think I get why people just go, you know, racism is a thing of the past.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing that you was talking about when you spoke about discipline. It's the same. Like, it's easier to be lazy. It's actually easier. Like, actually, you mean like, I didn't have to do this and nothing's really changed. Nothing immediately changed.
What's it got to do? And they say, what's got to do with me? My kids are fine. I'm fine. And I'm just like, no, actually, if you understand that everything you are consenting to something, even if you're not trying to. When you scroll on your TikTok and you take things in and you read certain things and you have certain friends and you go to certain places, you are consenting to somebody's ideology. You are making yourself submissive to it. You are submitting to it. So then you have to be aware whose ideology is paramount in my life. What? Because some people are like, oh, I don't go to church. I don't. Okay, you don't. That's absolutely fine. You're taking but someone is your
taking something.
Something's going on.
You're taking something still.
And listen, on that note, that is part 2. That's gonna be the part 2. We're gonna go into, do you get? We're gonna go deeper.
Hey, but listen,
great man.
Honestly,
guys,
I never leave like meeting you or having a conversation with you without having learned something, like or feeling like hey, like yo, or like having some sort of revelation of cool, boom, boom, boom. So this is.
Thank God.
I never leave the conversation feeling like I want to be done now. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I leave the conversation. You know me. Every time I come to the house, you be like, "No, do you know? I actually have to go now." You be like, "I have to go now," but do you know what I mean? Like, because honestly, there is a lot there, and I think there's a lot. Even though sometimes we can bump heads or whatever it is, and this that, and other, I think there's actually a lot that we agree on there, like foundationally in terms of just how people see life, innit? And I think there's a lot more that people can gain from you that would actually be of such quality. That I feel like a lot of people have been missing. Even the voice of, Ra, why don't you do this thing? You said you wanted to do this thing and you haven't done it, and you think it's okay to be alright with that. That is counter to a lot of the stuff that's put out there now, especially with like and I always say the self-care and all that kind of stuff. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Enough to rest bare,
I think it's a much needed voice.
Submitting to the ideologies that are this anti-Christ. It's not pro-Christ when we say, oh, you put me first. That is anti-Christ. God, others, yourself.
Hey, you lot. Hey, it's not just us that say it, but say on the cameras, because they'll say it's just us that say it. You've heard someone else say it.
Anyway, cut that bit out.
Nah, guys, you gotta go there. No, but we gotta go there, bro. We gotta go there. So, what's this? But yeah,
that
man.
Could be, bro.
Where can we find you?
Oh, okay, cool. www.missjoinbackway.com is my website. Check me out, please. And then on TikTok and on Instagram at Miss Join Backway. And then LinkedIn Join Backway. So just Join Backway everywhere.
What's the best place for people to contact you?
Emails. Emails are best.
Okay.
And that's hello@missjoinbackway.com. And that's for, you can feel this, all your needs, baby. There's nothing that I think one thing that I've been graced for is that I can solve a lot of problems and speak to a lot of things. So it's so interesting when I ask people like, you're inviting me on a podcast, what are you after here? Because we thought that we were going to be talking about teaching, but we were using my teaching gift to talk about things that were very spiritual. So we just, and it's like, so we didn't really talk about motherhood. So it's just about what are you, if you're looking for, if you have a problem that needs to be solved, and you need some time with somebody who can solve that problem. I think I'm a great use.
You've definitely shown that here. And I think, do you know what it is? With us, bro, we go where the spirit leads, bro. Like, any conversation, do you know what I mean? We might have a plan. Do you know what I mean? God might establish that plan or might tell us this is the way, do you get? So, and that's the way we move, man. But listen, honestly, it's been an absolute pleasure. And I'm not joking about this part 2. We need to get... So please look at your diary.
It took me like 3 years to get part 2
in. No, Joy, look at your diary today, please, and let us know. Like,
they're guessing.
No,
I'll see you guys in 2027.
You see me? Alright, don't worry. Don't worry, man.
Yeah. Pardon?
It's his fault still.
My fault what?
It's definitely Cher's fault.
I could be my fault.
It's definitely Cher's fault.
I could be my fault.
But anyway, listen, it's been an absolute pleasure. We're gonna part 2 coming soon, guys. So
yeah.
Tune in. But yeah, love every single time.
Yeah, man. Love.